woke up in my right mind and so I'm straight. Not a millionaire, but food is on my plate. Hit the studio in a mood to create. I'm still living by my fate, yo. I got no complaints, even if he doesn't show up, he done showed up. Every day's a blessing, even when it ain't no kosher. May not be where I wanna, by grace I'm getting closer. Tell my problems he's Jehovah, I'm just grateful it ain't over, he's still working on me.
I've got no complaints, no, you supply my every need. Even if not in my time, one thing's for sure, I got every reason to be grateful. 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 I got every reason to be
grateful. He's been so good, so I'm 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 grateful. So divine, yo, his mercy so divine.
So divine.
Looking back, I could have lost it, but I'm
Good afternoon, everybody. 5 minutes gone past the 2 o'clock hour. Welcome to Glory 93.9 FM and the show named DGMT. I'm your host for today. My name is Delton A. Rule, joined by Vera A. Wilson. But it's not really A. Wilson, it's actually Vera Aqua Wilson. But for the purpose of continuity, I keep in D-A-R and V-A-W, we're going to say, we're going to see Delton A. Rule and Vera A. Wilson.
Go ahead.
Welcome,
Sorry,
everybody. Get yourself comfortable.
Toot, toot. There it is.
I got every reason to be grateful. I got every reason to be grateful.
For those listening via the radio, thank you for tuning in. For those listening via Facebook, hi guys, welcome. You're about to see us in a few minutes. If you are on the radio, you can join us on Facebook as well. On my personal page, Delton Roll, on Vera Aqua Wilson's personal page. Guess what it is? Vera Aqua Wilson. Or you can look us up on Glory 93.9 FM on Facebook or on YouTube as well. We're also streaming live on YouTube. Song in the background is one of our very own. By very own, I mean Nassau, Bahamas, our church, Life Worship Center, E-Man, featuring Siobhan Green. The song is called Grateful.
I woke up in my right mind and so I'm straight. Not a millionaire, but food is on my plate.
All right, can y'all hear us? So those on Facebook, let's make sure.
Testing 1 2.
I did this before last week.
2 2.
And I was very ashamed. Because I did a whole intro situation.
Yeah, because that would be embarrassing.
So if I did that again, I would be very, very ashamed. Anyway, guys, welcome everybody. Welcome to DGMT on a beautiful Saturday. Started off a bit rainy. I don't know how it was in some neck of the woods, but in our area, we had a few.
I missed that.
Yeah, 1 or 2 showers.
Entirely.
The whole thing.
Completely.
It wasn't too much. Just a little spot of rain here, a little spot of rain there.
Splashes.
Little splashes. As we call it, spry.
Girl. No, I say girl. Delton, when I first got to the Bahamas and I heard people saying spray, I was like, what on earth?
It's a spry.
Do they speak of? Because we call it spray. I think we call. What do we call it now? I've forgotten. It's
spray.
Spritzing.
Drizzle.
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 It could drizzle, spritz or spray. I don't even remember what the English terms are.
It could be spray, because I think spray would sound. It's a spray. But for us, it's like, that ain't necessary. It's a spray.
I'm about to Google English slang words for rain.
Hey guys, let's put us on the video for those on Facebook. Welcome. There we are. There is
spitting.
Spitting rain?
Yeah.
Spitting rain.
When it's like
we
not
have spitting
heavy.
rain too.
When it's not heavy, but it's like big drops.
No, we have spitting rain. We have spitting rain.
Yeah, so you have a drizzle, and spitting. There it is.
No, we have spitting rain. We get spray. We get. You know exactly what a spray is.
It's the fact that I googled
what is spray?
English slang words for rain.
For rain.
To remember words that I grew up knowing.
And it came up.
That's quite painful for me. I'm gonna have to do a lot.
But you know spray though.
I'm gonna need to do a little bit of therapy to move on from that movement.
But you know spray.
Unfortunately, I do.
And so we had a spray. We also
Julie,
have.
don't mind. Not Julie. Jody. Jody said we're twinning. No, Delton's wearing coral and I'm wearing brown. It's the lighting.
It's close.
Okay.
You're probably not identical, but we're definitely fraternal.
Okay.
we go fraternal. We go fraternal. We in the same ballpark. We in that same ballpark. What is called an earth tone? Earth tone-ish.
if you can tell me this color and this color and the same earth tones,
Okay,
I can throw
all
this chair. Because now I feel about yours
Y'all
and your colors.
thoughts?
Because apparently green is not an earth tone, even though the whole world
Not
is
even
covered in green.
Not even blue.
grass.
I was looking at the bishop's here this morning.
Hi. Very well. All
Yeah.
dressed. Well, you thought we were just sitting here looking like we're on radio? You wouldn't be wrong, though. We did that for about half an hour before you got here. I don't have a radio voice. It's because a piece of hunger just come on me strong just now.
She brought noodles to make noodles.
And sleepiness, too.
She brought a bowl.
I'm in a new phase of my life. I have to eat when I'm hungry. Like, I can't wait. It's...
So, for those that can't
What you
see,
gonna say?
oh no, nobody can see him. But the bishop just walked in, Bishop Dental, and he's looking very,
I want to know.
very bishopy. Like he
It's
got on the
it's a
cross,
thing.
he got on the
No,
pink
you
purple
can't control it.
with a full collar,
Oh.
suit.
No, you can't.
And
It's
in
new.
Vera,
This has happened
just
to
having
me
a full
after summer.
conversation.
Saints,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
explaining
I'm
to the
just-
man of God how, and I explain this to you all, and he doesn't seem to understand because apparently this is not the first time he's hearing it, but now I'm hoping he believes it's a real thing. I used to be able to survive on one meal a day, maybe two, and it was a good meal. I make sure it's a good meal. Now I have to eat breakfast or like I lose all sense of my direction. I have to eat. So I actually, I carry my lunchbox with me everywhere just in case with the snack in the bag.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, but I used to be able to be hungry and beat. I could be hungry the whole day and not eat. Now I can't. No, like it's a thing. No, it's real.
Oh boy, you getting older.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't support it. I don't entertain it. But it is what it is. You can't relate. Yeah, because
Yeah, you gotta find I'm
I
like
think these
changing
are some of the
change my
fundamental
whole
differences.
self because now I'm hungry. Don't talk to me.
now I don't change. I just have to go. I mean, I've left kids in the class. BRB. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like grade 10. If I don't eat something now, it's gonna be a problem. You all do this for 5 minutes. I walked to the cafe and back. By the time I'd come back, I'd eaten what I went to buy. It's gone.
Send that video to me, Jody.
I was ready.
Send that
ready
video.
to go. Yeah.
Jody said, someone sent a video. Are you singing this morning? Probably you went singing. You were being very singing-y.
Where you were singing?
He was on the program.
I'm gonna say what he's saying that you can't hear. I was not on the program. And it's a very lengthy service. Started at 10 o'clock. Came straight from there to here.
Great
5-minute drive away.
Wow.
And in the midst of the preacher's bishop's comments,
Yeah.
he helped the great Ira Anthony Brown to the pulpit. And while he was there next to Bishop Ferguson, Bishop Ferguson, can you do 2 minutes?
You got
Bishop?
the 2 minutes.
And then Bishop decided not to do a regular 2 minutes, to do a singing 2 minutes. And how many minutes did you do? Did you sing the whole time? What did you sing?
If when you
let me
fail?
guess. Funeral. Do I know the song?
If when you feel the try. That's one of the favorites.
No, I can't. I'm not. You know, my funeral
My
repertoire
chains
is
fell
not
off?
very good. At a funeral, heart was free. Yeah, Rose.
I mean,
Rose went forth. Literally,
that's really what we sing at funerals,
literally.
man.
Anyone before the bishop reveals what song he was singing? Anyone want to guess what the bishop sang for? Like, quick DGMT game. What did the bishop sing for the 1 minute and 59 seconds at the funeral he was just at on the spot? So this was the precursor. He was the preamble.
I was being very, very sincere, very honest, because I always wondered that. He's a good man. He was Secretary of Church of God Prophecy, former Bishop of Church of God Prophecy. His daddy is a founding father of the Highway Church of God. He was. My good bishop, Bishop Clifford Ramin. So I said, I always struggled. And one of the ladies who gave tribute says that it was Jacqueline Ramin who pulled him to Church of God Prophecy. I said, I got it.
That's his wife? That was
Yes,
his
they
wife?
do
There
pass
you
away.
go.
I said, so now I finally understand how I lost Bishop of God.
And then that was the preamble to the
So when I was
song you
walking out
then
of church, it
sang.
was so crazy. I walked out of church, grieving and everything, shaking the bishop's hand. So I shook his hand. I was walking off, and he put me to him. He said, "Yeah, that's why I left." It was so funny. And we laughed for a day, I was glad. But that was like life to me, that I was able to make him laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, "Yep, that bishop. Now you know that's She's why I left. I said, Bishop, you left for a good reason.
There you go.
You left for a good reason.
That being said, we've got It As Well as a vote.
No.
I can't even think how that story led into any kind of song.
No, there's not been no connection. There was just an anticipation. Like, whenever I go to a prophecy, there's anticipation.
Yeah, what you gonna say?
Yeah, and like, when I got up, like, they switched keyboard players. Like, he's going to sing.
They switched keyboard players, boy.
He's going to sing.
So y'all got the keyboard in.
We've got no more guesses, Bishop. Put us out of our misery. What song did you sing? In fact, just sing it.
No.
You want a selection?
So I did the first.
Can you do 2 minutes, Bishop? Can you do 2 minutes?
Be true and faithful. So I told them that it was that thought. That was the thought.
All right, that's
got us
definitely
through.
close to the idea, but it's not the idea.
That's the thought. That song came to me in the I didn't tell the spot, but in the waiting room, waiting to view Laura's body in the hospital. When she had passed me going that morning, that's the song that came to me. That's when I wrote.
Fiercely get it.
That's when I wrote.
When we all get to heaven?
Yeah, that's when I wrote.
So I had to go through the whole verse to get to the chorus to know what song it was. Okay.
Remember the line that I put up that night when Laura died? I don't know if you saw it. Was She Chose Heaven?
Yes.
So it was literally that song that came to me sitting in the waiting room to go see her dead body. Was Let Us Then Be True and Faithful. It wasn't that Let Us Then, it was this line. Just one glimpse.
Just one
Of
glimpse.
him
In glory. Will the
Toils
of life repay.
That's how you got it.
Thank you guys so much for logging in and tuning into DGMT. That
Church on the
I've
fit.
been
Church to the fit.
Pretty much.
Holy Ghost fit.
1 minute and
What a day of rejoicing
59.
that would be.
And you hate when people do that though. You so hate when people do that.
I had 2 minutes, and I was on a program, and with all those acts, I was so grateful that Bishop Ferguson allowed me those few moments to celebrate Highway and to give the condolences. So I said I would not go over 2 minutes, and I was true to
Faithful servant. The saints say you whispering. He's just far from the mic.
Yeah, it's more falling
But
down.
he honestly, he told us a wonderful story. I wish you guys could have heard it. It was great.
I can change into dance close. I come back.
Okay.
And that's
Who's
good.
on Monday?
What kind of thing?
We got.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, come on.
Ooh. Let me read the topic for him.
Yeah.
Don't say no more. I'm just going to read the topic.
What is it?
No, when you put it in on your non-bishop clothing, just read it. You can see it on Facebook. We don't want to spoil it. It's gonna no spoilers, but spoilers.
Well, we also support it.
Yeah, man, it's a goodie. It's a good one for you to be here today. I think the Lord had it so.
It's a lot.
I ain't got to say the preaching. I couldn't preach last week.
Oh, so all you guys no trade to come?
This is very true.
I'm waiting for the Bible time now. So
All right, so
A lot has just happened there, Saints, but we were really just giving you time to come on
yeah, all right, right now.
in
Yeah,
the room. Oh, come on in the room. This is the part where we stop singing because we really don't know what comes next.
Oh, come on.
Jesus is the doctor.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yes, look, come on.
Listen, let's play this theme song. The Saints are coming in, and we got a lot to deal
We got a
with
lot to talk
on
about
today.
on today. It's a lot.
A lot to deal with on today.
Let's
lot.
go, guys.
We've got that.
Hey. Oh, no. All right, sorry.
The team with brother Delton and V.
There you go.
Vera Aqua are the faces you see. Impactful, insightful,
Taking it up.
delightful by far. Delton's signature
Figure it
laugh
out.
and Vera's kiki ha ha.
Good morning.
Sip that tea.
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 We start off with the popular and shift the topic to the strain.
Uh-huh.
You better come in fast cause the topic's gonna strain.
Uh-huh.
Faithful are the follows that sipping on the tea. From wars to memes to governmental policy.
Good morning. Sip that tea. Good morning. Sip that tea. Good morning. Sip that tea. Good morning. Sip that tea.
In pops Pastor B when they're closing on the final fact. And in my Vera voice, my show just got hijacked. Understand your popularity. Even prophets and bishops got to have that morning tea.
Good morning. Sip that tea. Good morning. Sip that tea. Good morning. Sip that tea. Good man. What happened? Sip that tea. What happened to the good
I'm not
morning?
sure
man?
what happened because you were singing and I thought, let me switch it up. But then I got lost in the song.
You want to do what you want to do. It's my birthday. You can't have it your way.
Exactly, man. What you trying to do?
I feel like when you have a show with your name in the title, you should be able to have it a little bit your way. No way.
No.
Nah?
I mean, that's the song part. Good morning, my neighbors. Say, Kevin, all the people on here on the live. Good morning to you, all of you.
We got call
got
the saints.
Jody.
The names of the saints.
Big up on
yeah?
yourself.
Big up on yourself.
My cousin Yanni. So I had to take a little sip of the tea. Had to sip
And
that
today,
tea.
I said to Delton, I don't even want no coffee today, but the way the topic is set up, I'm going to need something.
Little something to sip on.
I'm going to need something to sip on.
We got Chris Lee is here. Chris wakes a lot, Neely. Chris, you waking up?
Really, Chrissy? That's
Are you working a lot?
that's the word of your life?
And she was very,
Come on, man.
she
We
didn't
free from
like the fact that we called her business out on last week,
Spring chicken, hashtag.
but she ain't.
But you missed Onicia, who said, hey,
Donicia. Denisha's here saying moaning saints and ain'ts. Wrong show, Denisha.
I do keep a bit of saints and ain'ts in my pocket. Every so often I call the students saints and ain'ts.
Saints and ain'ts.
And I mean it. I mean exactly what I said.
I know saints and ain'ts. I know who's. I think
That's
it's
Jackie Hillberry.
Jackie Hillberry. Whatever they are. I usually watch him when I'm bored. Who else is here? We got also Devin Cooper. I think Devin is in somewhere in Florida. I think it is.
No cookies in the office.
We ain't got not a piece of cookie.
Cookie in there.
Rashad Deron Morse Cunningham. Say he reached. Hey, Vera and Delton. Rashad,
Yo.
did we ever talk about the two last names? The hyphen last name? Exactly where did that come from? Because you could be the third male that I know that has that. I had a teacher in COB
That same hyphenated name or just hyphenated?
a hyphenated last name.
Doesn't it just mean when me and Daddy joined? I know that's not a thing in the Bahamas, though.
I had a teacher that was sort of from it was a Cuban or Puerto Rican, one of those little Spanish speaking, where you take Daddy's and Mommy last name, so he was like
yes,
Bennett.
yes, that makes sense. I've heard it. I've heard of it.
And then I knew
before.
actually Alan who plays for us. Alan is he's a pipe from Wilson.
That's
like-
hyphenated.
I think it's hyphenated or just two last names.
Did
I'm
he
not
ever
sure.
explain it?
I can't remember. I think he did, but I don't think I was paying attention
Got
fully.
to do better.
Nah, shot. I remember then you came along, and it's not two last names, it's just really a name.
It's my daddy's name.
Then there's Aqua Wilson.
Yep.
What's his first name?
My daddy?
Yeah.
Vincent.
Vincent Aqua Wilson. Oh, he's Vol as well. It's another Vol. All right.
Who's another fool?
Morning, Marisha's here too. Good morning, Marisha. We gone big time. Well, probably not though. Probably we should just harmonize on the last verse, because that second verse we can't harmonize that.
I just didn't tap into the spirit like I was
Yeah.
supposed to. I apologize.
So I see Christoph, the Church Boy Production Studios here. World renowned, known for doing mighty acts and wakes for the kingdom of God.
And taking wonderful photos.
Very wonderful. It looks to be like getting ready for.
Very saucy.
I don't know if it's giving prom, it's giving wedding,
It's giving engagement pics.
giving engagement. It's
Well,
giving,
they've already done engagement pics, no?
did they do? Whatever, Christoph, you gotta figure them out.
Yeah, can't put your finger down on it. Like the spirit, move with the wind.
Even with you can't really figure Christoph out.
Don't know from whence it came
Because
or
actually,
to whence it goes.
they might be mad already. They could have been wedding pics we saw. We don't even know. They could have
That
been
could have been the
wedding
reception.
pictures.
That
That
could have been the wedding reception.
We are talking about that's some nice engagement photos. Hey, Christoph's like, hey, all right, then. So Christoph, we saw Christoph taking
Christoph,
pictures.
if you ever pull something like that,
could be
I would
married.
say make you Prime Minister of the Bahamas. Because to be able to move on such covert,
Listen,
that level of covertness.
when he posted wedding photos, that's where like when like Shadi actually pregnant, she actually having maternity photos, and then she's pregnant, and Shadi getting christened. It's
Prime
like
Minister.
it's a whole lot of things.
Prime
happening.
Minister of the Bahamas.
So we're not sure. So Chris, Marisha's also here. Hola, mi amigos.
Buenos dias.
I can't do that without head Rodney Bunker.
That's why I didn't like him. Buenos dias.
I can't do it. She say I'm here now, and she's talking about it. Chris Lee.
Oh, she dead.
So sorry. So she is.
We
working.
love you, Chris Lee. Hold on, I would do this because I was born in the 80s, but the young people would do this.
No, they like to me. I thought
This thing here.
Yeah, I thought they took the middle finger. That's why I thought it
Yeah,
was.
but then because you and I were probably born in the same era, let me go back
Yeah,
to here.
we'll do this. Yeah, we'll do that.
We love you.
We'll do that right there. These are the people that they're new. Why does this phone keep on doing this? This phone.
Why can't I get my head in the middle of this heart? What's going on?
You get your eye. You would wrong way.
It don't matter. It don't matter. We just wanted to say good morning.
got
Sin.
Sin.
Oh my God,
Sin,
Sin, what are
it's
you
been
saying?
so long. It's been a while.
I feel like it's been a little while. You posted that one video she posted on a Saturday had me dead. The little girl was like, I don't wear fake things, baby. It's like a little 4-year-old girl. I don't wear fake things. She's like, I have Air Max.
Exactly.
And she said something else, Nike. And one of the things, I don't wear fake things,
No.
baby.
No,
And then the person who in the video said, I can tell you that. She's like, yeah, I can tell you that. I was like, no, she
like
can be a
so
problem.
old, child.
She is going to be a problem.
Well, welcome.
Oh, yeah,
welcome
she
all.
wears crops. She said, I wear crops. Nike, Air Max. I don't wear fake things, baby.
So welcome one, welcome all.
Oh, welcome big, welcome small.
Welcome short, welcome tall. Morning.
Welcome.
All y'all is actually morning. All right, take it from top. Good morning, one. Good morning, all.
Good morning, big. Good morning, small.
Good morning, short. Good morning, tall.
Good morning to all of y'all. And if I was
Sorry.
controlling the board, I would do. You want to do what you want to do. This is not Burger
Yeah,
King, and you
it
can't
ain't.
have it.
Sorry,
No
yeah,
way.
it ain't welcome. I know where that welcome came from.
And he was expecting me to just jump on the bandwagon.
Why you would say welcome? Like it's not welcome. My apologies, guys. As we get back in this thing right here, you can't access your device. What you mean you can't access my device?
Anyway,
I'm
Saints,
trying
how
to
y'all
get
been?
the-
How's
trying
the
to get
week
camera
been?
ready for the pastor comes.
How's it been going? On our side, all is well.
All is well.
The fact that we made it here today, there was no
Most things.
all is well. But let's get our church announcements out of the way for those celebrating birthdays in what is the most birthday-ish month
Oh,
of
this
the
is
year.
definitely as we described it. What is Christmas? Is that Christmas
We
love?
that
Somebody
Christmas
didn't get a
loving,
gift for that.
that winter snuggling, that cuffing season.
Yeah, somebody
and-
who
and-
didn't get a
and-
gift for their husband was like, here you go.
So you were born. So we want to wish Leonardo Clark a very happy birthday. He celebrates on today. We also want to celebrate Shani Clark, not his wife,
No.
who
No
somebody
no
else's
relation?
wife. No, maybe relation,
Could
but
be
just
related.
not in that way.
We don't know.
Well, then he'd have to be related to her husband.
Yeah. So thing.
Shani, who celebrated her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you. We have Brother Geo Smith, the Reverend Geo Smith, the man of God, preacher Geo Smith, who celebrates tomorrow. I'm almost sure Geo just had a birthday. I feel like we just did this for Geo, but let's do it again. Why not? Because that means to tell me another year has passed so quickly.
It's another year.
It's September.
Oh,
All that stuff y'all said you was
it's
going
time
to
for
do.
Christmas, man.
All that stuff y'all said you was going to do in 2023, y'all did it? Because we might as well start talking about.
I saw someone like trying to tick off their list the other day, and it was like so funny.
Lose 20 pounds, cross out the zero.
Cross out the zero, lose 2 pounds.
Get to work on time. Get to work.
Get to work. Scott showed that on. It's like,
I saw that.
I was like, yeah, this is about right. This definitely seems about right.
We also have good happy birthdays going to. I have my sister from another mister, my cousin Annette, who celebrates this weekend. Not this weekend, this week on the 19th. On the same day as my sister from the same mister and Mrs. Louisa Malmere, who celebrates her birthday on the 19th. And then my oldest sister, the one who thinks she runs the family.
I mean, she's the oldest.
Probably because she does. She's turned 50 on Thursday. And the wild thing is, not a day over 39.
How she looks
I receive it for myself, Father God. Do it for me
right now.
as you have done it for them.
Cara T celebrated on yesterday. Cara T Newton. Shout out to her. Vince McDonald, VMAX celebrated yesterday
A
as
fellow
well.
voluntary part-time worker
Part-time worker
of
at
Glory
93.9
93.9. Happy
Risha,
birthday,
the
happy,
folks
happy,
have been
happy
asking
birthday.
Risha. I don't know if they've been asking you. The folks have been asking me. Where's Girl Talk?
I'm one of the folks.
Vera's one of the folks as well. Just wonder, where's Girl Talk? And why aren't the girls talking? Are the girls not talking?
Because the truth is the girls be talking.
The girls be talking. But why the girls ain't talking to us? That's what the people want to know. The people want to know why the girls talking.
They keeping things secret.
But the girls ain't talking to us.
The people who just be coming out of the woodworks at these times in the show. Brother Alan Wilson, he's on the live.
See me.
He's here waving. See me up. See me
See
up.
me?
And Kathy say someone say birthday. Any cake?
Any cake? That's what it
Well,
was
for those birthday celebrants on the live, any cake?
Oh, see, there you go. We got
Love
an
it.
exclusive.
You
Girl
heard
Talk's
it here
coming
first
to
on
Cara's
DGMT. You heard it here first on DGMT. Girl Talk will be coming at ya after
Soon.
Cara's birthday. So it's that Monday then?
Say, hold on. Cara just
Because
yesterday.
that's just gone.
You're coming soon. Always said, okay, all right. So the girls
Okay.
will be talking.
All right.
Stay tuned to your social media. You can see flyers and some brand new pictures, I'm sure. So one of them Girl Talk. taking house pictures.
And we'd be put to shame, but we're not.
We
We're
put to
gonna
shame.
let.
We know we put to shame
we
this
just-
year.
There was an attempt to take pictures, Delton. I recall.
We did. We had big plans. And my stuff is still here too. My stuff just in case. Anyway. So happy birthday to everyone that celebrated a birthday over this past week and those who are going to be celebrating this week. Happy birthday to you. Hope you enjoy. Hope that we live to see you live.
Many more.
Happy anniversary to all those couples out there celebrating their anniversary who got married in the summer heat, in the September heat.
Only in the Bahamas. Actually, I lied.
Why would you do that?
By the time I was leaving school, September was the hottest month of the year, and it's still that way now. The UK, they're now having summer. The Saints are now hot.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
What do you call hot for the UK? 60?
I only know
sorry.
in Celsius, 28.
20? 28?
27, 28
Okay,
Celsius.
yeah, that's about to put 80. I think it's around 80 something for us, I think.
That's a regular day in the Bahamas.
That's actually a cool day. Like around 80s. We call that a cool day.
Most people to set their AC on 80.
Yeah.
So that's hot, isn't it? But I think they start talking about it being hot round about 23, 24. They start complaining about, oh, it's getting a bit hot now. Oh, guns out, sun's out, guns out. They start wearing flip-flops at around 21, 22. They start wearing batty riders. Sorry, I'm not allowed to say that on radio.
They wear batty riders
Short
in the UK.
shorts.
Yeah, batty
That's
riders.
what we used to call them.
I mean,
They start wearing short shorts around 24. By 27, people are wearing swimwear. Swimwear on the bus. I'll have you know, by 27, 28.
Listen to me. Speak the word.
Swimwear on the bus.
Jody says if your AC's on 80, then you're not doing it. If your AC's on anything above 78, to me, I just think that you should shut that off. Just open a window. Like anything like you.
I'm one of those people that doesn't have the AC on that icy cold.
Oh no.
I just want the AC to like set the room at a nice cool. I don't need it to be like I'm in the North Pole. I don't understand why I'm walking.
No.
It's not healthy to walk from out. So what? You can blow hot air, Jody. Jody said turn on the fan, man. To fan what though?
I mean that's what the AC doing though. At 79, you just.
If I'm putting it there on if I'm putting it on like 68 and thing, that's a strong 10 minutes, and then I turn it off.
Oh no.
Closing
Our
doors,
AC
closing windows.
stays
Just
at
keep the air
68.
cool, man.
No, 68.
Why y'all want to feel like you're in Antarctica? I don't understand
I
that.
mean, what's the sense of me? Not like if I'm not, then why have a blanket? I need a
It's
blanket.
conditioning the air. You don't have to have the air freezing cold. You could have it at a nice regular condition.
I don't understand that. I didn't
It could
understand
just be regular, like a nice regular cool temperature. Why it got to be icy cold?
that. Sometimes it's not a batty ride in the UK.
Yes,
Like,
man.
come on, bruv.
I told y'all we've been influenced by the Jamaicans. Them.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. No, so anyway, I don't know if you know about AC, but I think the good AC temperature, 69, 70, I'll give you 71. Someone, I guess, I understand. I mean, you by yourself too. So I give you, all right, 73.
I'll do a 73.
73 and a not a too thick
I'll
blanket.
do a 73. If my man of God, wherever he is in this world, is a 68 kind of man, we're gonna have a problem. If he's one of them ones who need that 68 all night long too,
I
like
ain't gonna lie,
as you're sleeping.
68 with the final medium. Just give it a little
What?
extra.
On top
extra
of ice
tiny,
cold. Hey!
little pizzazz on top of that. Oh,
But then
man.
y'all can't take 2 drop of rain because you got to protect your mole. It don't make
no,
sense.
we have to
It don't make sense.
That draft. You can't mess with that
You have
draft.
creating draft in your house.
You can't mess with that draft.
Make
You
it
gotta
make sense. Thanks.
You gotta protect your bull line. You can't be on there in that draft. But inside, draft on.
Still areas of the devil. This is powerful.
Anyway, so that's it for all the birthdays and celebrations of everybody. News and reviews. If you're prepared to wear a blanket.
I will. I have
No,
no
that's
problem
fine.
with
It's
the
fine.
duvet.
Kelly says 2 extremes. It's either North Pole or off. Well, I'll leave it at AC. It's either.
Y'all just wanna, I don't understand how y'all ain't sick all the time.
Anyway, guys.
Or are you?
Like it's not like I mean.
Therein
I ain't like you. Just
lies
most of the
the
nighttime, you just hear that nose. Let's go
Yeah,
in.
y'all people always sinus issues.
Nose just going there loud. Try to get that little thing clear. Refuse to turn the AC off though. It's not gonna happen. Like I go home tonight and I have to clean our AC because I think the little filter might be a little dirty.
Yeah.
Because that little 68 didn't feel like a 68. Oh Jesus. Oh boy. In the middle of the show. Anyway, guys, so moving right along to news and
And I mean, all
reviews.
this talk of AC and I completely forgot.
What's happening in our country on today, this week? I was telling Vera about this before. This like we can jump straight into this thing right. Like one of I couldn't even find the story. One of the most weird stories I've ever heard, like in our crime news, happened this week. I don't think they've. I mean, they haven't said anything about the investigation yet. So let me tell you, if anybody has the story about the female and the taxi driver and the toddler, if you could send that to me real quick, I'm trying to find it. And,
So I'm about to get educated.
yeah, because Vera had no idea what was happening,
No.
and I saw it where this lady like she tried to get ahead of the story, and she released a statement, and I'm
Which
trying
lady? What? Like a journalist tried to get ahead of the story?
No, there's someone. This is an eyewitness
Oh.
that released a statement and was like, let me get ahead of the story and tell y'all what happened before the news story come and try to say that this ain't true. It's somewhere along the line. I don't want. I really try to find it. So if someone has it, they can send it to me. Please do so within the next.
Jody Ann said that's the one off Soldier Road.
The one that's one off Soldier Road.
If you have the video with the receipt.
I don't need the. I want to read it. I want to read the.
Oh, she spoke it?
She spoke it. She did.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
asking because you said you want to read it.
No, I want to read cause she sent a post to one of the pundit groups, and so I'm really trying to find that. That's really what I want to talk about because.
Speaking of pundit groups, I only found out today.
Oh, we getting calls?
My mother.
Oh gosh,
I can't not
you got to
answer.
answer.
Video call.
I'll show a video call. Oh, you see you on the show. Yeah. So we gonna mute Vera mic. So I'm trying to find it because it was really one of the most weird stories ever. Let's see Vera in the corner there. She is talking about me all the way in. I think it won't be in Ghana.
Mommy, I'm on the radio. I've got to go, but
Oh yeah, so I won't be talking. Have a good conversation. All right.
sorry, Saint, quick distraction.
She in Ghana? Or
She's in
here?
Ghana. And she was showing me her little. She's got like a little family that lives in the house with her, and the little baby girl. She became my little best friend. And I said I wanted to see her, so she just video called me with little. She's the cutest thing in the world. She's just such a.
See, when we have
pretty
people that
baby.
live with her, she took them in.
Oh no, it just doesn't happen any other way.
Just bring
As
them in.
long as I've been living on this earth, there has been some family, some individual, some couple
That's how my auntie leave.
living with us always.
So
Always.
every time my auntie leave would definitely have
Yeah.
somebody in there. I just gotta find the story, man. I really
My camera's
upset that I can't
glitching.
find it.
Can you
Again?
see this?
No, I can't see it.
You can't see it?
Okay, nice to see it now. There you go. Listen to me. What do you mean now?
You found it?
Someone said
Somebody sent it to you.
I,
One thing about you, yeah.
I got some people on the inside that work for the higher ups.
Oh my gosh, I've got DGMT is sending us lyrics to come on in the room. I mean, this is a family radio. Everything you need
All right, so let me get this thing loaded.
is right here in the Potter's house.
Thank you so much, woman of God.
Who sent it to you?
Um,
Anonymous source?
I guess anonymous source, just for the sake of
An anonymous tip.
anonymous tip. That call the crime line. So anyway, here's what it says. Says before the news get to say anything, I will. Just how it starts. I had the most horrible experience anyone could ever have. So at 11 something, almost 12, I was in the bed sleeping. I heard someone knock, but I didn't get up to check. So someone knocked on the room door like 3 times. I didn't get up the first knock. So the second knock, I said, "Who is it?" My cousin roommate said, "It's me. Look here." So I come in the room, walked out, asked what happened. I see our landlord with a little child in the bathroom with his hands down the little girl's throat and saying to her, "Come back, come back." I keep asking him what happened to the little girl, what happened. He said, scroll down, tell me go in the room with the roommate. I went in the room, dead scared, asked the roommate what happened. He kept saying he doesn't know, and the landlord just pop up in there, knock on the door. He opened it, and he just walking with this little girl. This is what
So
this is.
she felt like that was going to clarify things?
So hold on, that's it. So he come in the room with us, locked the door, and said, "This is how it have to be." I said, "What you talking about? What happened to that little girl?" So I unlocked the door, and me and the roommate run to try to get outside. I made it outside to try call for help. But the roommate, the room he was in, the house, also the roommate was in the house fighting for his life. It's not the best of English. All I heard was him screaming, "Help, help."
The roommate.
Yeah, it hurt my heart because nothing I could do. I didn't just wait for the police to come.
So where the little girl?
I don't know who the child that was. I don't know why he chose to wake us up at our sleep. He tried to kill us in the house. When the man come in, he locked himself in the room and break the window and go and try to run. The police only got a call and said that they were needed at this place. I there crying and screaming, saying where the baby. He had the baby, I think, and he did something with the little girl. We find a little girl in the room dead. It gets way more worried. They're crying and screaming, saying, "Where the baby? He had a baby." I'm thinking, all right, so where is the mother? Who child was that? It breaks my heart seeing that little girl so helpless. Seems like he was on something after they arrested him. He just started freaking out, and he died on the spot. And she didn't die because he needed to pay for what he did to that baby girl. She looked no more than 2 or 3. I wasn't even supposed to sleep home last night, but I still ended up sleeping home. And she said, "Lord, I thank you for life." It felt like I was watching something off a movie. What was he on? Who was the mother? What happened? And that's how it goes on. The news report came on.
Goodbye, Graham.
Listen to me, when I tell you,
I ain't have enough coffee in here.
when I tell you that like the story gets like even more weird, because it almost sounds as if he broke the window trying to escape when the news station went to the house had burglar bars, and they're trying to figure out like so hot. It was like windows like where he couldn't escape, so that didn't make no sense. And then the police said they had him like apprehended, and he died. He died in the car, and it was a whole lot of stuff. The next day, now the story's out now. There's like it was a roommate and somebody else was in the room, and he go in there and catch them in the affair. And then there's another story that's so when all that we do know that 2 persons have died this week.
The man, who's apparently the landlord.
Was apparently a landlord. Now we don't know if it's a landlord like apartments landlord, or like he has rooms in an apartment.
Because when you said knock on the room door,
that's what it sounded like. It sounded like this is more so like
we got media people on the live. What y'all know? Y'all find out anything? Hey, E-man, what you saying?
So
you come in at a moment. I feel
E-man,
very discombobulated.
E-man, send us real news because we want news.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We should say she have a theory based on conversations in the nail salon.
Oh boy.
This is the Bahamas, and it's not a real place.
And that's where the real news comes. You in the nail salon and you in the barber shop.
I mean, Moby come off vacation to Seinfeld. Jesus. Oh, goodness.
So
Christoph say...
And the person who sent me the story will tell me the real story. I'll read what we've been alleged. Or I'll read what's being alleged. Because this right here was something that didn't make a bit of sense.
So we're hearing that we need a caller with the deets.
Because
who's going to have the deets? Everyone's got hearsay.
Everybody get hearsay.
You can't trust anyone who's going to say anything.
Because to me, when the lady came at the front, it was like, before the news story get this, let me tell you. It's like,
you're trying to cover something
you're trying to get ahead of something. It's like,
Delton, let's see what you're saying.
It's like, hold on, no one said anything yet. Like, this story had not broke yet. This is like early that morning. And she's like, before the news story.
And why would the news say something other than what is the truth? Why you feel like you got to cover up?
Why you feel like they got to lie?
Why you feel like the news wouldn't tell the truth? Delton, what is this?
I don't know.
I'm going to have to read that myself because I want to blame your bad reading for how confusing it was. But I believe it was just how it was.
So
Christoph says he hopes we eating the food from last week because this tea is hot. Christoph, we ain't eating. And honestly, I'm flagging already. I'm going to need a little sustenance because this is just news and reviews. This
come to find out, they say it wasn't a girl, it was a boy.
The child.
The child was a boy. Reading somebody's now synopsis. The theory is that they have from a conversation in their salon, somebody a personal message.
Okay.
That this was another child that he suspected to be his. The mother was asleep in his apartment, and he brought the child in there to do a test on the child to see if the child was his. The swab went down the child's throat, and he was trying to get the swab out. That's why his hand was in the child's mouth and why he was in the other people's room.
That's very much conjecture.
And then he also had a drug problem, apparently, and his kids were taken away from him, according to another taxi driver.
But why did he die?
Now, they said that he was on drugs, and like, it's like the whole
conveniently
the rush of the incident mixed with the drugs had its effect on his heart.
But then, what window did he jump out of?
There's no jumping out the window. I mean, well,
How
actually,
did he
no.
get out of the house?
No, I do apologize, because some people say the bars had a latch, and he could have opened the bars from the inside, and he could have gotten out the window. But the window they showed on the news was like, I don't see him get on that window. But that's neither here nor there. But all we know now, so news and reviews in this country, we're trying to solve this case.
By the way, I think you need to look at E-man's comment. It's very specific emojis chosen. Hi, Vera. Hi, Delton. Rolly guys.
All right, guy.
Hi, E-man. We have both of the Davos on the live today. This is a hot very hot Saturday.
Yeah, so
Viva Mexico, andale.
Very much so.
What in the Netflix special is this? Jodie Ann.
So
you hit the nail on the head.
That right there is
Speaking of Netflix special, that's the segue. That's the segue right
That's like right there. So anyway, but before we get to that right there as being was news and reviews for
I must live under a rock because I ain't
because
hearing
we
none
are
of
still
this.
trying to get to the bottom of this file exactly what happened, how the two people died in this one incident, in this very very strange dramatic way.
Baby children.
Baby children died.
He's trying to get
Oh.
the sword from
So
now.
according to one theory, he's trying to get the swab out of the child's mouth and how
I
he
mean,
died.
I'm not
is-
gonna lie, that's a very plausible explanation.
That right there, that theory, that particular salon theory is sounds.
One thing about the nail salon.
Oh, they get to the bottom of something. I did not. If I
Call it out. One thing about the nail salon
get to the
and the
bottom.
hair salon. To be fair, nail salon more than hair salon. Because I feel like hair salon, you could be more, women tend to be more insular. Like headphones in,
yeah,
under the thing,
Under the hairdryer
reading
is
a
loud.
book, in your phone. Nails, your hands are your hands are not your own. So you gotta stay engaged. Then don't forget the
Don't
next
forget
one.
The next one. There's another one. What's the next one? There's more news. There's more news to that.
That's how girls
Now
wanna
I
come
did
back.
know
There
there was
is
another story that happened like right not too far from our church, where this wife caught a husband and the sweetheart in the car, and she like rammed her car into them,
No.
and then she came out and had to fight, and then she followed the sweetheart to their house, and then the house when she got to the house, the sweetheart, and the sweetheart children like attacked her. And then they beat her downstairs, and that started a whole other scenario.
I was with mum when she rammed the car into them. I just feel like it makes sense.
It makes sense for that.
That makes a lot of sense. Husband and his sweetheart in the car. She killed the wife.
No man, that the same person. That's something else.
The sweetheart who knocked down the husband and wife.
Oh, the person who. Oh yeah, sorry,
She
my bad.
killed
You're
the
right. That one. Yeah,
That's
so
a different story.
That's a different story.
So the wife catched the husband with the sweetheart and rammed the car into them.
Yeah, into
And
the
she
car.
then ended up getting beat. She ended up getting beat
And
up
she
by the
getting
sweetheart
beat by
when she
the
chased
sweetheart and the
But
sweetheart.
this now
and
is the sweetheart who knocked
this
down the
is
husband and wife
Who the police was looking
to
for.
kill the wife.
So the one this one actually killed, and the police were looking for her. And I think now what also happened is that the police put the wrong picture on the wanted thing, and they caught the wrong person. I think that woman's gonna sue the police. Whoa, oh, you went real casual. So. I didn't see this level of casualty coming.
Go ahead, sir. You go ahead.
Yeah, so that's a whole other story. That's two other stories. So yes, usually sweetheart is probably in Miami. Of course, she probably allegedly these are the things that we probably hear on the streets.
Allegedly.
So allegedly,
In the
just
nail
kidding.
salon.
That's what become of us. Like, so how y'all know this? We don't know anything. All I know, I don't know nothing about
You
them
could
besides
see me
Jesus Christ.
sitting here dumbfounded, dumbstruck. Like
That's all I know. Save Jesus Christ.
what
That's all
happened
I
is-
wanna know. So
nothing saved Jesus Christ
and them
and
crucified.
crucified.
So I don't know.
If
So I don't
ever
know
there's
nothing.
a lesson I learned in the house of the Lord that has marked
I
me
don't
for
know
life,
nothing about any of these
that's it right
stories. All I want to know is Jesus Christ and them crucified. So yeah, this has been the top 3 stories I know, especially in the country today. Also, another story happened yesterday,
I'm weary.
and this one, I said, Julianne, this was you. I don't know what you would have done. So the immigration department did a raid on a hair salon, and there was an entire like about 14, 15 people that they were pulling out this hair salon, like hair braiders, and people sitting down in chairs getting their hair done, and they were like, "Let's go." People were there with their half of their hair out, hair in bonds, and the immigration was just, it's time for y'all. Y'all got to go. Do y'all have papers to be here?
So what's gonna?
That's not our problem. Like, you better call a friend to call a friend, because you better.
My heart
You
is
gotta
beating
get
fast.
you gotta get a headscarf.
My heart is beating fast because I wanna.
Finish my hair. No. They wrapped that up real quick. He was like, "Come on, let's go."
Because there are so many levels to this. First of all, we were on a roll because if there were 15 of them in there was at least 4 of them on my head.
Oh no, they're rolling. They're just rocking and rolling.
There's a certain level of quality you expect when you have a Haitian braider. I'm just saying it is what it is,
Yeah.
right? So where I go now? I gotta find another Haitian braider.
So I show you the video. I got. Someone was like, "So what are you gonna do?" Like, I don't know. I want my hair finished. Like, what they gonna do? And they was just,
Uniform.
yeah. No. This was a lot. It was a lot. Like, people in
Where
there.
is this?
I don't know the
'Cause
place.
in my mind, I'm like, I wish I heard about it earlier. Like, I wish I knew about this place before.
Like you would have been straight now. I hope he wasn't there yesterday. So yeah, and they rallied him up and
Come on in here, Terrell. Come on in here. Come on in here. Let me read these comments and then get to Terrell. We should say, no, sir. Finish my hair. Hold it, officer's hand. If you take this woman out of this.
like, officer,
I was
care
going on
what
the
you
bus to get my hair. I want you to know, your hair would have been done before you got to your destination.
Oh, no.
They would have
And
got
that
you
bus would've been
straight on that bus.
I think you say bus stop.
But then Jodie Ann said they could have waited for the braids to be done. But the reality is, everybody's hair was going to be at different stages.
There's a lot
You
of
could have been
customers in
here all
there,
day.
Jody. There was a lot of customers in there.
You got to go to somebody else to do it, Julianne. That don't make no sense though, because that person hand ain't like her hand. The hand, like you got to have one person's hand in your head, or people whose hand is the same. Terrell say this is appalling. The hair and nail salon should be considered a sanctuary. You can't repatriate her with her hair half done. What do you mean? The people that were arrested were the braiders, Terrell, not the woman getting their hair braided. Now, mind you, huh?
We just say plus I done pay my deposit. Yeah, that deposit ain't got nothing to do with us. Ain't got nothing.
And the
to
way
do with
braiders
us.
be carrying on, you paying 75% deposit.
75%?
Giving them the hair before. Ththese days, Delton.
75%
The
for
rules
hair-
for
for
getting your hair
braiders?
done is getting ridiculous.
So when do you want a deposit?
Beforehand.
Like right before you sit down? Before you sit down?
Yeah, man. No, 75, I'm exaggerating. 50. 50%, your hair got be washed, straightened, oiled, scalp grease down. These days, people who doing wigs and thing, they want you to come with your hair rolled down to put the wig on your head. And that's not, I'm not exaggerating, that's
So
the
they,
thing.
they call it specialists now.
Yeah. So if you want me to roll down your hair, that's extra money.
I can screen record it so I can see, because people say they want to see it. I can screen record it right now because I saw it on somebody's status and they didn't post the video online. They just post the.
Sin said it was on Kemp Road. That was Kemp Road?
That's what my wife said. My wife said that looked like the place on Camp Road. Like,
Place on Camp
I'm
Road?
Man, you been here?
Place on Kemp Road.
I was like, I don't know where it is.
Because, I mean, there was about, as you said, about 15 women came out of that. Braiders only. Where
Yep.
on Kemp Road?
I don't know. My wife said she believed like this like the place on Camp Road. It's like, ma'am, so you've been here?
We say, Terrell, yes, how you get in the salon? Julianne say, imagine you paying first. Oh my gosh. I've never done such a thing in my life.
What,
Never done such a thing.
What the paper?
Paid for my hair first. That's not the done thing. Plus, I paid my deposit. They ain't giving me my money back. No, ma'am. No,
money
ma'am.
back.
Giving you my hair before time. That's standard. All I do, Mopi, on vacation, all I saying is, I hope they only had 5 more braids left when that pop off. So I don't have to pay.
I'm gonna put it through right now. Someone sent it to me.
Terrell say, wait, they gone with the braiders? That might be worse. No, it's absolutely
Yeah, no, they took
worse.
the braiders. It wasn't a matter of taking people getting
Oh,
their hair.
509. They hit up 509.
Oh, so you know 509.
This one. I don't want to call it along with other names like it, but yeah. So it's an established establishment.
So,
Gia just
so
sent it to me.
according to who?
Gia.
Oh, so you got it. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I know what's happening.
Wow.
Ain't no shows no more, man.
Which bitter woman who got her hair done tipped them off? Some women got her hair done, didn't like
that's
it,
what it is.
and she tipped them off. Because they've been around a while.
If I know y'all know the place, I don't even know. I don't know
They've
what
been
the
around
place
a
is.
while. I've never been there, but I've heard of it, and I know it's one of the places where there are a lot of Haitian ladies who do your hair, and you won't be there long. It won't be.
It won't be long. Yeah. So anyway, so that whole thing got shut down.
Brittany should say this is her personal hair braiding store. That's her personal hair salon. Marie should say no, that's the plug. Renee say that's 509. I've never been there though. I was always scared. Well, no, that's Bernice. That's Bernice people. Bernice friends.
These friends.
Bernice friends.
I think it too long to that. I ain't like. You smell really good. I ain't like. It's right.
I wasn't gonna comment on it because he does this thing where he doesn't tell you what it is. So I'm not even saying it no more. They braid really good. All your thoughts are braided when they're done. Not Kemp Road, man. That was where you could walk in. Marisha's really grieving. Really grieving. Mopi said, I've never paid for my hair first. Cannot be, because anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Oh Lord, Renee made right
Renee, even Renee on the
Renee
live,
say
Renee
right-
said, Lord Jesus, I braid my hair 2 weeks.
Renee, you
Renee,
made
you
it
need
in?
to book her fresh up with somebody else.
They
You gotta
read
book her fresh up.
a hair salon. And apparently this hair salon is known for like quick service, where they like 3-4 people be on the hair at one time. Apparently, though, those persons they were not supposed to be in the country. And immigration said, "Hey,
But do we know for sure they all went regularized, or were they all taken in the ones who weren't?
I mean, when they come to you, they'll ask you to see some kind of documentation before they just take you."
So you're telling me not one braider left in that store because she was getting paid? Whichever braider was left in the store. So
Oh,
that means not one braider
They was working,
left
but
over.
whoever wasn't that straight, you may play me that day because you had to fix everybody here.
So not one.
Because they wasn't leaving. Like, you can't get me to leave now. How you want me to leave? I gotta leave. So like, it's only me one.
Man, Renee, I feel for you because I know in your mind you have one more week till you go in to get your edges done again. Till you go and get them fresh up. Because school's still in session and nobody's getting their hair done till midterm break. That's how it goes. Sorry, just so you understand.
Hey man, I get there now.
She said they gifted bad though. I ain't gonna lie. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you already signed
Nobody
me up.
just see 509. No man.
You already signed for this 519 place. I don't have no idea what this is.
What? I just feel like it's paid. Just leave it alone.
No, I
You
think
made it
it's-
out just in time. Finding a good braid is hard. Exhibit A. Saints. Exhibit A.
I think it's a matter, like you said, I think it's somebody who got their hair done and they were not happy about it.
Sin said it. That's it. Somebody was mad.
Somebody was mad and it's like, hey, y'all go out there.
You know, most of us are totally disconnected. It's like any other crime. We don't care until it hits us. I say that because, you know, when you get connected to these Haitian brothers and sisters who are not regularized, whether it's a hair braider or whether it's your, let me say this, your church member or your neighbor, you have expatriations and they don't do nothing to you. Sorry, not expatriations, repatriations. And they don't do nothing until it's somebody close to you. And then all of a sudden, like, things start to hurt. You know, so.
You're grieving the hair braiders
hair
and
braiders
Bishop
and the bishop,
grieving
man.
the state of the
Bishop gonna be
nation.
grieving.
The state of the nation.
And
Terrell says, as a man with locks, I can relate all too well to this. You can't take her and leave my hair looking like I fell asleep doing it myself, which has happened. What? Terrell even has a story. My goodness. I'm so sad about this. Brene is quite sad. It's quite sad. Well, I've had a hair braider though who was deported before. It's devastating.
Oh man.
It was really heartbreaking. Next thing I knew, she was in Chicago. This is how you get to Chicago.
She's in Chicago.
They deported you back to Nigeria. How did you get
Oh,
to
look, she's-
Chicago? I loved it for her, though. I loved that for her. She kept the hustle
Oh, this is
going.
in the UK?
This was in the UK.
Oh yeah, that new country.
Yeah.
It's got somewhere new.
You could get your hair done, freshen up on your lunch break, way. They were that good.
I was surprised.
I don't think so, man. I think immigration just doing the obvious hits first. The place named 509. But my thing is, Julianne, just now, that been around long.
What is 519?
I guess, is that like the Haiti code? The Haitian phone code?
Oh, there it goes.
Is it?
Oh, I know.
The
I
area
know
code?
I know 519.
Think they're going to let them come back, Brene? Let it go. Sorry, man. Who's going to freshen up my hair now? Sis, have good luck. Good luck.
No, I
finding
mean,
one.
if some can prove
Good
that
luck
they had
looking.
papers and that, then I mean, yeah, I mean, so they might, a few might come back.
Popped out. I just lost something.
Oh yeah, well,
I mean, this topic bringing everybody out.
yeah.
This topic bringing everybody out. Because even Stephanie come up and she say, 509 is the area code. So
Well,
there you
all
go.
right.
Most of them were released. Okay. Saints, there's hope.
So
Fear not. Cry no
Alpha
more. Your edges can be freshened up next week. Brene, all is well. You're going to make it to midterm break. Them braids, they're going to make it.
Look at God.
They go- You're so silly. You'll soon need
All right,
special
so
handshakes to
most
get your hair
braids.
done.
All right, so
And a
most of-
password.
Yeah, no, because now I can't trust y'all no more. Because now y'all will come in here and try to get us again. So we
Y'all
got
ain't serious.
understand y'all.
Now, Jodianne said something else. Oh, so Jodianne was saying this, what in the YouTube, no, she said, what in the Netflix special is this story about the man, the child, the two deaths at once. And I said that was a perfect segue into our church news and reviews. That Brother Kirk broke the internet this morning by releasing, not this morning, it was yesterday.
yesterday, yes,
it was
yesterday.
yesterday, sorry.
Yeah.
I watched it this morning and my heart was broken, so I got confused. broke the internet yesterday, releasing a 35, very powerful 35
Yeah,
minutes.
35 minutes. Wasn't well, it's good.
35 minutes, 1 episode special documentary called Father's Day. Saints, have you seen it? Have you watched it?
Have you watched it? Pass, you watch it? All right, so we haven't
Do you
watched it.
intend to watch it?
I mean, I
Should I? If you tell me to, I might.
I watched it because of
I told.
of a
I,
show.
said, I said you gotta know what the people them watching.
Now,
I mean, I got turned. I'm very shallow, so pray for me. But when I heard him talking about it and I heard his and listen, let me say this is my little caveat. I'm a fan of Kirkwood.
you didn't finish that.
Sorry, Brother Kirkwood is my man of business.
Right.
So when they get down on Brother Kirkwood, I usually just bail out. 'Cause
Right.
I don't attack Brother Kirkwood.
Okay.
That's my soldier.
Right.
You know, the boy's the beast.
Okay.
You know. But when he did a little video, I think on Thursday or Wednesday or something like that, and I saw that, and he said, you know, in this, I didn't hear nothing about it until I saw this little thing he did on Facebook.
Okay.
And he says, it's going to be some cussing, you know, and this and that. I said, okay, I watch it.
Oh, it really wasn't.
But he said it. He said,
Vikings is worse.
yeah, but they don't
And
say,
the cussing's
they
not
don't
from
s-
him.
They
It's
don't
from
s-
his family members who ain't.
Yeah,
See,
no.
but I didn't know. So
And it's
I was
like-
telling you, I
It's
said,
like 2 words. It really
I
isn't that
said
bad.
I'm shallow.
I like-
Fair enough.
I prefaced it by
Yeah,
saying
okay.
I am shallow.
It's 2
So-
words.
But
and
he-
it's funny. I ain't
He probably, and you know what? I would give him wrong for that. He probably made that bigger to make it more scandalous and people
Yeah.
make
Yeah,
people
so-
watch
so
it.
he
'Cause when
lost-
you watch it, the memory you take from it is not that one woman said the S word.
If somebody's
And he
saying,
came very close to saying the F word.
if something happened when they say a preacher, catch preacher doing this, I ain't watch it. Catch singer doing this, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't want that
Yeah, I don't
imagery
like
in my
that.
mind.
I
I
don't
don't
like
want
that.
that.
I don't like that he put that.
that's
at the
that's
forefront.
clickbait though.
That's definitely
Yeah, that's
clickbait.
all-
so-
very much so.
Well,
clickbait.
it
Yeah.
unclicked me.
It unclicked you.
Yeah, so I
You
was
good and
like,
saved, and we love that for you.
I mean,
Because
I don't
the
even
rest
want.
of the saints.
I don't want to say how good and safe I am. I just don't like to see believers in certain light. That's why I never watch Greenleaf.
Right.
I've never watched it, and I never will. I don't like those.
I would say if just to put your heart at ease, because he's your boy and Kirk was your
That's a
boy.
boy, man.
The believers aren't in that light. It's the non-believers that are
Yeah.
around him and in the part of the
Okay.
situation.
Yeah, no,
Which is understandable.
I think that statement there was just for clickbait.
Because then we done know Kirkwood had one cussing
And also-
sometimes
Yeah.
the year
And
before
also-
whatever.
And I think also because he knows that the people who are out to get him are going to maybe pull that one thing or those 2 things from the whole thing, even though it's not him doing it. They
Right.
may pull on that. So I guess he's disclaiming as well as
Okay.
clickbaiting.
See, I do remember when he did when the last thing come up with him was,
Him
It was
son?
him and his son.
Yeah,
That's
and-
why the documentary was like.
and the casing thing, and then I was like, Jesus.
And the son in this one too. He brought his son back. You know?
He
brought
brought
his
his
son.
son back. And
Yeah.
based on the
They done it?
timing,
They rocking and rolling?
Trying to get
not
that.
rocking and rolling, they walking slowly down the road.
Yeah,
but
it's
good enough.
they get-
It's slow walk.
But the fact that he says he's not seen his son in 2 years, that was the last. That had to be the last time him and that
You said
whole
they-
thing with the
they ain't
cussing.
talking like that in
I
2
think that's
years.
the last time they spoke. So yeah.
Um,
Well, for those who haven't watched it, the documentary is called. It's a short documentary, 35 minutes. It's called Father's Day, and it's the story basically of how Kirk Franklin in the year 2023, at the age of 53 years
53,
old,
yeah.
has found his father finally,
Oh,
after
powerful.
believing
That's
for
father.
many years that
That's
his father was dead, that he had buried his father, having a conversation with this man who was dying of cancer, believing it was his dad, and then finding out that actually that wasn't his father.
And at the end of this thing, what I got from this documentary is that Deborah, his mother.
I don't get it though. I don't understand it.
Deborah's Rolling Stone.
Now
first
we
of all.
put in the title that there would be spoilers, Saints. I mean, it's
Deborah.
only 35 minutes, so
Deborah
we're gonna spoil
was
some
a
things.
Rolling Stone.
We're gonna spoil some things. We put in the title that there's a spoiler, Dwayne. Don't come in here with that attitude. Don't come in here with that. There's literally spoiler alert in capital letters in the title.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch it anyway.
I mean, the first 3 minutes he indicates that that's what the documentary is about. So the cliffhanger is he's found this man in some coincidental way. It came to light that this man could be his father. Rumors were spreading. The man said, "Listen, I've heard the rumors too. This is the history I have with your mother. If you want me and you to check, let's do it." Kirk Franklin does the test. 99.99999%.
Use that.
Literally all the nines that that's his daddy. Kirk's reaction was wild. It looked unreal, but you could tell it was absolutely real.
So the
He's
test,
just like-
the test was actually done on the show.
Well, when the man found out that the rumors was going around, he actually did a swab on himself and sent it to Kirk. It's like, if you want to find out, because like they look like this.
So reverse back.
similarities.
The only
Reverse
reason
back.
this was being recorded is he was doing a behind the scenes for the album he's recording now. That's
That
why he
come-
had
that come on-
cameras with him.
That come on next month.
So this was happening. This happened while his thing was being recorded.
got you.
So he was like, keep recording.
I got you.
So he didn't just bring in cameras for it.
Understood. Okay.
He had
okay.
cameras going on because he was recording his
I
album.
I love Kirk.
Yeah,
That's my
he was
boy,
recording
man.
his album, and
Okay,
one of
good.
his girls. It's the whole thing. I don't give you all the nitty gritty. So
I love it more.
99.99999%.
Except for the cussing.
Yeah.
He goes to his mother, sis. Goes to the daddy. The daddy first. The daddy's reaction is what broke me. Some people start crying right at the beginning when Kirk found out that's his daddy. I was cool until his daddy started crying. Until his daddy reacted, I was fine. I was like, oh, this is heavy. When that man started bawling, I was like, oh no,
So
Jesus.
daddy, question, daddy can play piano or sing something?
We ain't know. They ain't
Aight.
gonna find out.
It don't look so though.
Daddy look he's singing.
Because when he was talking about the similarities, it never came. I feel like he would have mentioned that.
Yeah.
That was one of the similarities. So no. But daddy looked like he living a decent life.
Yeah, daddy
Daddy ain't no
he look broke.
Daddy ain't
scrubbing
pop
the back.
down.
No, sir. No, sir. So daddy break down. Then he's like, I gotta go talk to my mother because she told me it was another man. And Deborah say, nope, this test is a lie.
I had to get a test from him. This is that. I ain't daddy.
She's like, and I need to get to the bottom of this test.
So they did another test.
99.99999. Deborah said, I do not.
Did we
hold on.
record Deborah?
The whole thing,
Yeah.
and everybody in the documentary signed release forms because there was a moment where he opened the door for his auntie, the cussing auntie,
happened, I didn't come to the door.
cussing auntie.
He's like, did you sign
He said,
the
"Have you
form?"
signed this
She's
form?
like,
Because if you
I
haven't
ain't
signed this
signed
form, I
it.
can't get out this car with you."
I didn't say I ain't
She's like, "I
signed
ain't signed it." She's like, "I'm going to sign it." He's like, "Did my mother sign it?" She's not here yet. He's like, "Well, I'm going to stay in the car till you all
it.
sign
I
this
can stay in the
paper,
car. He don't sign it.
and then we'll have the conversation." The Saints say, "I do not know this man."
Deborah said, I don't know who that is. That
Deborah
ain't your
said,
daddy.
Can't be your dad. That's not possible.
We thought that daddy was like, daddy's thing was like, I said, I don't know, it could be daddy. I said, I ain't like at that time.
I was a
I was
young
young.
man.
I
I
was
was a young
young.
boy.
Nah, he
I didn't
was
even
rocking the
know.
Hold on, daddy was 14, you know.
Daddy was a kid.
Daddy was like 14. Daddy's like, who I did what? That's
And Daddy say, in my mind,
I saw the wheel of a time.
the fact that you could sleep with a woman and she could get pregnant, that didn't even exist in my world.
Daddy say I was having a wheel of a time. It's Daddy's like, me pregnant.
So daddy older than Debbie?
I don't know. I think so. No.
Don't look so.
I think
Come on, Debbie, man. Debbie, come on.
No, Debbie's out in the streets, buddy.
Y'all leave Deborah alone.
Debbie was out in the streets.
No, no, she's
Y'all
Deborah. No, no,
leave
she's
Deborah
Debbie.
alone.
Yeah, I know Deborah.
I think the heartbreaking thing
That's
is
a Debbie.
Kirk Franklin was just like, I just want you to give me this. Of all the things in this life you couldn't give me, just give me this. Tell me that. And she's like, I cannot tell
Debbie
you
say,
that.
no way.
So
I can't.
she will leave Kirk buying up.
So Kirk say that if she can't give him what he wants, he's gonna have to check what he's give her. That was what he said. To say Deborah could kill. I just don't understand what legs Deborah stand. I just don't understand what legs she's standing on. I don't get it. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's what Deborah
But
said.
Deborah
Julian
wasn't.
said.
That's from the previous talks about him and his mother. His mother did a very, very, very kind of checkered past, right?
Right.
So it is possible that Deborah remember seeing you, man.
Deborah say it's
Deborah
a
say it
strong.
ain't him.
I mean, they were sitting in the same room. Deborah, auntie, daddy, wife, Kirk, all in the same room. Deborah still say
I don't know this man.
no, and
This is me?
and daddy say I have enough love in my heart for you, for when you're ready. That got me too. I ain't gonna lie, because daddy was like, I did not know.
Y'all actually trying to make me watch what's wrong.
I didn't. Daddy's like, I did not know if I'd have known. And Kirk was like, it's okay, you didn't know. You didn't know. Like,
Oh, Lord Jesus.
gosh.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
It was
Yeah,
a
that-
lot. But Debbie sit there and then she put her mask back on. She said, you know what?
Yeah, they
Y'all
read
ain't
mask
get
on
They
that.
wear a mask too?
Debbie had a mask. She said,
I can say this officially. I
so
don't trust nobody wearing a mask in 2023.
and I mean, Kirk put dates on this. This is like May. This is May, June.
All is this here.
Anybody,
right.
anybody wearing masks in 2023, don't trust them.
And then Kirk meet up with his son. So
Watch
Kirk,
somebody get about it, please.
Kirk meet up with the son that was cussing, that he had the big old fight with. And he told son about grandpappy. Son had a whole breakdown. He said, this is what I needed. This is all I prayed to God for.
That was son say?
God, he said he prayed to God for a granddaddy and his daddy. And now we have a granddaddy, him and his daddy hugging thing. And
I said
it was
what I
very,
said.
it was very,
Daddy or daddy.
it was very, very. It was very. Let me get these comments from the Saints. Mama, Jessica say, man,
I
I'm
got
still
a
in
comment from one of the
shambles.
Saints, but they said can't say this on there, and my response to what they said was absolutely.
Let me see.
They got it on there. It's staring at me.
It's very,
But why won't Debbie just let it go?
you don't know all the passengers.
Then don't deny one. If you don't know the passengers, just don't deny one.
No, definitely sounds like that. That's why it's
Just don't deny one. If you don't know for sure, don't deny it. Debbie
I
say
checked tickets,
strong
and now you didn't have a ticket.
categorical no.
You didn't have a ticket.
Well, Debbie know who's on that train.
Debbie say, I need your receipt, sir. Don't worry about this paternity test. I need your receipt. Jessica said she's still in shambles. She needed a minute. Jess, I thought I was strong till about that ending piece with his son. That get me. And when his daddy start crying, she could kill. Thanks for the spoiler. You're welcome, Dwayne. Anytime. My thing's gone out again. Deborah Dangerous. I just don't understand it. And my thing is, if you don't think he's the one, why won't you just lie? Just lie to make the man happy. Lie to make Kirk happy.
Obviously,
Lie, give him peace, man.
there got to be something with Deborah. I don't think
But they sit in the room, Dad, and Daddy literally looked oblivious, like, I do not know this woman, but apparently you're my son. It's all right. That's no problem.
I was like,
I scrolled through so I could see how senior man looked.
I was 14.
Apparently
14.
his height and his ears were the giveaway. That's when the rumor started. Deborah was like, nope, I ain't know that man.
Let me get close, man.
Delton is gone out again, and I just want to make sure y'all could hear me. Okay. Good thing I watched it last night. I would have been insert one of them
I
Kirk
turned the
words.
camera. I turned the camera down. Sorry.
Jessica say, Harpo, who this man? I love his daddy and how he made the whole situation about Uncle Kirk. Absolutely. I mean, I felt like of all the daddies you could find when you're 53, this is the kind of daddy you want to find when you're 53.
Yeah.
That's how I felt
see
watching
him
it.
sitting on the chair. I like how he's sitting on the chair.
With his leg crossed out?
Cool, dude.
Cool, dude.
I like that.
I look at God. Look how God could bring it all together. And I was like, because if you're going to find a daddy at 53 years, you don't want to find him sick, dying, in squalor and poverty. Can't really. Daddy had his life together. Daddy have love in his heart. Daddy married. It's like, I mean, good, decent man. I don't know if he's saved, but he looked good and decent.
We ain't got to fight it.
Since we say paternity court. Now that's a mess. Because once you start watching that, 3 hours of your life gone. Where's Maury when you need him?
I just put it
At Heaven's Gates.
Maury down there.
I have to watch this. No, Marisha, you should. Absolutely. It's only 35 minutes.
Yeah, I think about you that. I watched
Debbie
her
was
drive down today.
outside. Debbie have amnesia. But you can't be so strong and wrong, though. Just be, I ain't sure, I can't remember. Don't say absolutely no after 99.9999999% tests. Debbie, are you crazy?
This can be one crazy album.
Listen to me.
He's calling it Father's Day.
They play some stuff in the background. Right?
Nice.
Oh,
They are
I tell you,
absolutely
when people
signature
never
Kirk.
write, but I cancel Kirk Franklin. You out of your mind.
No, he plays the stuff for
Like
like
what?
during the little show.
And this
Kirk
album
was-
too,
Kirk
one thing
was
about
the beast.
Kirk, he's going to do Kirk. You know them other bands, we're trying to experiment, they're trying to change genres.
I don't, he can tell you a story.
This song I'm doing now in 2023 may sound like a song I did in 1999, but it don't matter because it's just as
They
good.
gonna be good.
I just, you know, there's two major problems with Kirk. You know, Kirk, why you naked? Kirk, why you naked? Kirk, button them up, man.
He had on his
Wear
clothes
sleeves.
for most of the documentary.
Yeah, documentary is pretty
Only
good.
one couple times he had one wife beer, but
When
otherwise he
you're
was dressed.
dancing, you're always biting your lip and thing, and then you're squeezing things. And, like, Kirk, stop this stuff, man.
You're
Kirk,
getting
what's going on,
distracted.
man?
You're getting derailed.
No, that's what says my problem with Kirk with.
Yeah, no, good.
Kirk with, man, like Kirk's getting excited. You know what? What daddy name again?
Your name, Richard? What that name? Richard? What that name?
Oh, Rick.
Ricky.
I think I need right.
Rick Hubbard.
Send me
Yeah,
Rick number.
Rick Hubbard.
Rick.
It's
Send
on
Rick.
Yeah,
number.
man. Rick, tell Kirk that your daddy reached out. Bro, stop all this wine.
And I believe
all
if
the
all this
Rick,
wine. and sugar.
I believe if Rick tomorrow turn around and say, Kirky, come here.
Yeah,
Enough of that open shirt. Yes, sir.
yeah. I really believe. I think Rick is a key.
But okay, jokes aside, I think it was for me most remarkable to see a grown man reduced to, like the fact that the needs of a grown man are no different from the needs of a boy child when it
Good.
comes to the relationship between him and his father.
Yeah.
That there's no substitute for it. There's no amount of time that compensates for not having your father in your life. That for me was the most.
This can be crazy.
I just felt like I understood Kirk Franklin. Watching this, I understood all his quirks, all his whims. And I was like,
All the
I get
wildness.
it, bro. Like,
I think
you
Kirk-
are.
I think Kirk next album coming next year.
No,
Say what?
No, I think the next one.
Oh,
The
yeah,
one
yeah.
after this coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
he remember 18 more
On the
songs.
road to
18, 25 more songs.
Yeah, no, definitely.
yeah.
No, right next year we should have another one.
That next one come up.
Debbie say it's not possible. I'm with Julianne. It's not like she said, I don't remember. She just said, it can't be.
Gotta be this one.
And Debbie, what do you mean by that? Are you saying you didn't sleep with the man? Because the man's here saying, but then he wouldn't have remembered if he slept with Debbie or not, based on what he was
Does he
saying.
remember Debbie?
He remembered dating Debbie. That's how it got. That's how people started to speculate because they were at a family funeral, and he's like, "Oh, I used to date Debbie way back when. I think it was one of her sister's funeral.
Yeah, one of
He
Debbie's
was there,
sisters. He came by
and
that
he
road.
told somebody who happened to know Kirk.
one of the
he
singers
didn't
in the
know.
group.
One of the singers in his group, as they were recording the album at the time, he's like, "Hey, I used to date the mummy way back when I was a kid. Singer dude, carry the one."
Look at-
Five
look at him.
little ears, little man. Mother. And then she called Kirk like, Kirk, the people them whispering, and based on my encounters, it could be.
And that's from when? When is
This
it?
This
was-
was like March.
Oh, so a singer started this mess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. No, but apparently the rumors were going around because
See,
when
That's
she
why-
told
that's
him,
why- That's why the Bible says check your background singer.
no,
I gotta look at my singers right now.
no, let me tell you something. Because the singer told him, but his mother called him and said, if you've heard these rumors and you need to talk, call me.
Yeah.
So the rumors were beyond the singer. She just got to him before he heard it from anybody else. So the singer had his back. She was covering him, making sure he didn't hear it from the wrong person.
This was a good out too. Who I sing with them?
The one that you say.
That one, my friend? That's my girl right there.
Julianne say, Auntie was like, come on, man, Debbie, this boy just wants the truth. That was the moment that got me.
Auntie was like-
Annie say, he just wants the truth. Annie, if you know, say something. If you know,
It's Annie
call
got-
it out.
Andy is say, you don't say I say.
Yeah, you.
Debbie said, I said what I said. Man, I have to watch this right after this show. Go ahead, Marisha. 35 minutes. It's going to be
Alright.
quick.
I
It's
actually
going to
get
be
really read. I can watch it.
emotional. Deborah is just a selfish soul. I don't think this is selfishness. I think it's something deeper than that. I don't know what it is, but my brain can't comprehend you would lie to this point. I genuinely feel like she's delusional.
I
She
think
delulu.
There could be something else attached to saying yes to this that may open up another.
Yeah, I'm gonna tie some more things together.
Yeah,
for
so
Debbie.
it
Debbie's
may,
like, oh,
yeah.
damn.
So opening that door may cause another door to open,
Debbie's like, I can keep these doors closed.
and then another door to open. Then oh Christ, then the whole house fall down.
Debbie can no turn it on. I mean, none of Debbie turn on that either.
I have a vote to say save it and let's watch it together on Sunday.
You can vote for that.
You have a vote to
So, yeah,
somebody vote that.
yes.
Okay, this gonna be one sweet sounding album though.
Oh no, that's me.
Oh, absolutely. If you like, there are snippets of the tracks in the.
When doesn't
In the
Kirk have a sweet
documentary.
sounding album?
And where's like you get a story? You get a story down.
Julianne say, I believe Daddy is a therapist. The way he crossed up his leg, Julianne, you may be on to something. He said all the right things. Absolutely. Absolutely. His response under pressure was so measured, so thoughtful. Julianne, you may be right, you know. I can look him
But
up.
then the thing about it is with Daddy is that, like, I mean, that's why I don't understand Debbie. It's why got to be something that's behind this. Dude, I am 67, but like what? What? I mean, what should we do?
So I typed in Rick Hubbard. I got to be more specific because plenty
I
of
know
them
that's what
online.
one
No,
to do. Yeah, you got that.
I didn't believe singing Rick Hubbard. That's one who's singing for true. One Hubbard guy. Hubbard. Gospel singer.
Old Mother Hubbard.
There was a Hubbard.
I know studded. It was Ruben studded.
I remember one Hubbard named gospel singer, man. Let me look it up.
Anyway, let's keep reading these comments. I would have had to see Debbie outside. I just like Debbie. Just lie. Just lie. If you just give him what he wants.
I
Debbie
know.
was like,
I see
she
Ronald
couldn't.
Hubbard gospel show. I
And
know.
then-
I know.
Ronald Hubbard.
And Debbie
Yeah.
said, "This is all I want." I was like, "If you don't stop these."
It's trying to cry. Debbie, you're the reason to cry, Debbie. Stop it. Actually, you probably do.
Kirk Franklin is the greatest.
Yeah.
Point blank. Period. I done told you how I feel a long time ago, and I'm not gonna say it no more. Bishop is too far from the mic. They can't hear. He's very
He's
close to
straight
the
down.
mic.
I think the
Oh,
mic,
this was
that
a while back.
That was
eh?
a while back.
A little residue of Debbie and Kirk. What do you mean, Julianne? He probably broke Debbie's heart, and this is how she's reacting.
But
I
he
mean,
was
you
so
left
young,
me
though.
to be adopted at 4. You
Yeah,
really,
so I mean,
you
like
really
Debbie-
lose.
Yeah.
Whatever I do, you've done worse.
I just make Robert a 64-year-old.
Deborah brain fried from drugs. Well, but if you forgot, just say I forgot. Plus, she might have 7 more children.
And then, you know,
I tell you, I think something else connected to this. Something else tied to this.
Bishop then. The people say you still whispering.
I am right here. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
think
know
you
where
have
else to
turn
go.
him up.
I'm going to turn you up.
Debbie may not remember sleeping with
I
him, but
don't
you
know.
can't categorically say you did it. Anyway, says
But
I thought.
I don't think they went to sleep.
No, they was still sleeping.
I don't think they slept.
definitely was still sleeping together. Sleeping.
It's just my vote. I don't.
And he was 14. He had to go home.
Yeah, so
he
he
had to
didn't
go home.
sleep
Be
together.
married.
Not sleep together.
This is
went
the
out.
part of the show where they start tag teaming and I get tired and I have
I
to
was like, sleep.
because I can't do it.
I got school in the morning.
I can't.
Yeah, you can sleep. You
I
14.
can't sleep. Yeah.
I can't do it.
I got school. I have my school clothes.
Somebody got on a jumper. I can sleep. Sleep together.
So yeah, so that's where we
How
are.
the fool around.
I give
I
up,
do have
guys.
this
Thank you
notion
for
because
coming.
Debbie was out there living the best life in the same community while the boy living with a woman.
Do you know what's
60 years older
wild?
than him.
The man lives like a couple blocks away from his recording studio
Like currently that.
and across the road from a house where his son used to go and play.
Like, baby,
And I think that's heartbreaking. Somebody you look for your whole life was right under your nose. Ladies in the chats, let it be the same for your husband, but you will find him in Jesus' name.
Right,
Come on. Come on. Right under your nose.
We're gonna take a quick commercial break, guys. We're back to our topic for today. As I give you all a nice little song and a nice little jingle.
I'm not listening because you know it sends me.
I don't know how. I still to this day I don't understand how you get there. But we can come back and talk about our topic for the day. Y'all don't go nowhere. Just a little public service.
Prevent dengue fever, controlling the Aedes aegypti mosquito. So cover your drums and buckets, don't you let them breed. Put garbage in covered containers, I want you to take heed. Don't store them out tires from your house, that is a no-no. You must stay on the drains, the bush, as if you're home on the show. Search the premises, make sure no mosquitoes are inside. Fight the fight, destroy mosquito breeding sites.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization.
No. What? Oh.
But Delton, I didn't hear the part about the Egypt
Yeah, it starts to begin. He's
Okay.
talking about the Egypti, something.
I haven't been watching the news. Actually a bit. We getting these mosquito. They still numbers still going up.
I think we well in triple digits now. We have well over 100 for dengue fever cases.
You know, we didn't get so traumatized from the whole COVID thing. I don't even know, because we never got dashboards for dengue in the past. It's not the
Never,
first,
no.
second, third, or fourth
Is there a
dengue.
dashboard for dengue?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, my thing is that back then these things never really mattered that much. Now all of a sudden
In the cases of a
now all us got a little acute sense of PTSD.
like I need number.
So we're like, hold on, oh
Now
God,
the
what's
day they
happening?
release it, I want you to know. Now y'all don't come for me. I am who I am and what I am. It needs no excuses. The day they release the dashboard for dengue fever, I can take it seriously.
Well, there's one though.
Oh, I ain't see it. If I see it,
If I
see it, that's it. I'm staying inside. I'm not going nowhere.
you got those empty them little tires from around your house.
Yeah, I get what I'm saying. Some mosquito breeding grounds. But I mean, where we live,
Fight the
where
bite.
we live, there's a certain time of year, like they just have a conference.
In the back there.
Yeah. So I wanted to go for a swim the other day. I said, all right.
Y'all in?
Y'all have it.
Y'all use the pool. It's fine.
I ain't
Yeah.
outside is for me.
Because in our area, like there's certain times of the year, them boys have a major conference going on. It's be crazy. Like we,
It's a real dashboard. Oh no, I don't like that 100 cases. It looks very dramatic.
yeah,
Got blood in it and everything. Oh dear.
yeah.
Yeah, so a 9-year-old girl passed.
I heard that part. That's so sad.
Oh no, dengue fever is like
Fight the bite. Play one more time, Delton. Play one more time.
Oh, you didn't know somebody passed away?
yeah,
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it's unfortunate.
yeah. So dengue fever is on the rise.
Yeah.
I said they can treat the symptoms. So I think what happened is
I didn't cry too much today.
Cry no more. Yeah, so that's it. So our topic for the
Don't make it spiritual, but we have to make it spiritual. I mean, people need to pray, man, because there's only so much sand and water you can move around your house.
yeah.
You cannot kill the mosquito population. I pray that we're drawn to prayer. We pray, especially for our little babies who don't have the immune system
Right.
to fight against it. Our baby children, man. So we got to be covering them.
Yeah.
Just got me.
Yeah, those I mean, because
Gotta be praying.
for us, like we're not that kind of culture. We carry around off and coiling that everywhere we go.
Listen to me. We did this is before. Vera, were you in Exuma with us at the Palestine? We signed that. We did 2 years or 3 years at Palestine Baptist
Yeah,
Church there
I
in
think so.
Exuma. One of them years we signed because we went there, man. People standing around the windows. I mean, people place book out. So I'm thinking everything cool outside. Listen to me. When the concert over there, a little soda thing outside, a little cooler, a little cake, a little soda. So we stand up there. I stand up there and get my cake. Pop, 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 pop. These mosquitoes, these mosquitoes big like flying roaches. These mosquitoes are so huge. Like
why
like
did you just make the sound of gunshot? I don't understand.
like in the van, like people like I watch Eunice run to the van. So you trying to get in the van door, lock, you hitting the door, open the door, like you like. So I was like, there's a
zombie apocalypse.
No, some guy like open the door, let me in. Like those things were hitting. Don't you remember that?
I think with them was they wasn't running, so like they land up your hand. You do that and they come off.
No, they're right there. Like, bro, no, I'm going.
You take your time, you hit them like they ain't trying to fly away.
I'm going to bite. It's one. I had hit twice. I hit him. I get you. I had to hit him twice. Those
I can bite you,
mosquitoes.
buddy. I don't care what you
So
do.
I'm just saying,
I
I was like you would kill all our mosquitoes. So we gotta pray, y'all. Pray for these children, man. Cover them.
Yeah, so it become like another pandemic and some other mess again.
Yeah. Like, can I ask a question?
Oh, goodness
And this is going. I'm going
gracious
to
me.
just attached to the whole the
Mosquito?
dashboard and everything. No, my mind is going back here. I really want somebody to help me this, and I'm trying to. I'm just not say this in a condescending way.
I believe he plans to be condescending and does not
No,
really
I'm gonna
want
say it.
help.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
ask.
sir.
Let me
Go
do this
ahead.
in a question asking voice. I'm gonna use my
and
interrogative.
that will heal the condescension.
Yeah. I'm watching in some churches that there are persons whose assignment it is to wipe down the pulpit and to wipe down the mic between speakers.
Delton.
Oh, you still do that?
Segue.
I just want to understand.
Segue.
Am
Do
I?
you know what what I wanted one of our key topics to be today?
Oh.
Things we do in church that don't make sense.
See, now that's condescending. I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't because you don't understand it. So it doesn't make sense
no,
to you.
right,
I feel
I'm
brave
just
enough
trying-
to say it don't make sense, period.
I just want someone to help me. Honestly, the churches that still have their persons assigned, is it that these people are so engaged? This is their ministry assignment. They're engaged in ministry. That's
I
what they
think
do.
9 times out of 10, they just don't
And
want to tell mother
But we don't want to
or
tell them
uncle
we don't need you no
it's
more.
enough.
They quickly finish.
Because like, what will I do on a Sunday morning if I don't wipe down the pulpit?
Because I'm watching to see like the churches that are still wiping down pulpits, they hug them when they go to the mic, and we hugging this one. And so I'm trying to, but I still want. There may be something that I'm missing, so I
No.
want someone to help me
I
understand.
think you got it.
Why are we still doing this?
In your intellect and insight, I think you've nailed it. Nobody wants to tell mum. Nobody wants to tell uncle. That's enough. That season is done. This is their 29. Not even 29.
I
This
think
is their
some.
3.2
I think
seconds
there's
of
still
fame.
some churches that are still.
Delton, no.
They still want to have the clean appearance. I think that's what it is. They want to like we are taking care and making sure you don't spread germs around.
But we still haven't fellowship
No,
time.
I said
Delton.
appearance. I said nice.
We still have fellowship time. Like
I disagree.
I sneeze and you give me tissue.
I disagree.
Like we have all these things
I
of
think nobody's called it out. Nobody wants to call it out, and no one's hurt. So let's leave it.
And listeners to DGMT, I am really asking an honest question. I want to know what I'm missing. There may be an explanation. If you are a pulpit saliva mucus wiper, please can.
But you ain't being condescending.
No, I mean you may
saliva
be.
mucus wiper.
I need you to tell me. Like, explain to me what is it that you're under? Let's do what? I just want and also sweat as well. Perspiration. Help me understand
Dandruff.
exactly.
We could be here all day.
Yeah,
Skin
it's a lot of
cells,
things.
it's all kind of things.
Right, and I just want to know, and if you tell me, I will. Then you make me the miser. We
Y'all do not
won't start in my
respond to
church,
leadership.
but
Do not
Yeah, I
respond
mean
to
we didn't do it then.
we never did it. Yeah,
It's a whole wipe it down.
Yeah, I
we never
honestly
did the
think
wipe down thing.
no one thought to stop it. It kept going. No one told sister and uncle or brother and mother who were wiping down the pulpit, that's enough. No one told them. And no one wants to tell them. And no one's getting hurt. What do we lose if you wipe down the pulpit?
I mean, a few times you can lose time because they.
How much time, Delton?
But they be walking in your way.
It is so distracting.
You be walking in your
To
way.
you, the people who've seen it every Sunday barely recognize it's going on.
Hey, hold on, Bishop.
Shh. I walk over. Hold on. I said, what?
Yeah, I think it's not distracting to people who see it every Sunday. That's that moment in the service you just look at your phone real quick. Like it's just part. It's integrated. I feel like you're bothered by it because you never got used to it. It was never done in your church. We've been doing it all the time. Do you know what I mean? So
Ain't nobody answering.
I was in church, in the last 12 months. I mean, we sitting in there bumper to bumper. I was a big boy. I was sitting like this. Like my hands, it was really
All
up.
scrunch-up?
The whole time. I was worshiping the whole service. Because I was all, I mean, we bumper to bumper. And the person next to me, hey, Bishop, this and that. So all kind of saliva going across. But then there is Mother, who was wiping this thing down.
Because there's a certain
I was
level
like,
of-
Mother, can you wipe down right between me and this person? I
There's
didn't
a
even wipe
certain
right over
level.
here.
There's a certain level of antibacterial protection that those that serve the pulpit deserve and will get. That y'all in the pews, y'all regular laymen. Y'all don't
Holies
need
of
that.
holies. The holies of holies, man. We can't have no germs around
That's
holies of
come
holies.
on, Delton. That's the holy.
Keep that clean,
of holies.
unspotted, unspitted, unmucousy. Unspitted,
Undandruffed.
unspotted, undandruffed.
Come on.
Put that down.
Unspitted, unspotted.
I
love it.
back to your agenda. I just had to get that out. I'm so perplexed. I mean, like we do that in the fall of 2023.
I think the Saints agree. Marisha says, please tell us why. What are you wiping? I'm so confused. Jody found the title you gave interesting. The, was it pulpit, mucus, saliva wiper?
And they get on gloves too. What?
It can't be clean. Come on, man. Holies.
Do you not feel like there are some things in church we get people to do just so that they have something to do?
Of course.
So why is this a problem? Why
is
can't
it?
Mother just do it so she has something to do?
I'm about to come
But
to
we
church
could
every
plan
Sunday.
that, man. We could do something better. You know, we could find.
That's a lot of things.
We could
There's a lot-
find things.
There's a
people
lot of
to
things
do.
going on. She's
to
doing this so
maximize
well.
the
Why
time.
should we do?
Like what?
I know.
We
We get things, man. We can find it. We could create redundancy. We
And
don't
that
do that.
segues perfectly into my topic. Last week I said to Delton, I want us to talk about some things that we do in church that don't make sense. Some of these redundancies. I'm really not talking about service features. I'm talking about little idiosyncrasies
That's it. It is.
that don't make sense. I'm interested to hear what y'all have. I have one in particular that has been burning me because it's useful, but I don't think we judge. I don't think we're judicious about when it's useful and when it's not. And the ushers and protocol and altar servers, they need to do a training. Very specific instructions as to when it should and should not be applied. Delton, are you ready to play? Hold on, wait. The video. I need y'all to tell me, was this a good, I do it with my students, so give me a thumbs up if you think this was a good example of the use of this particular church accoutrement, or was it a bad example of a use of a church accoutrement? I need all DGMTs engaged. This is a class. This is a class. There is no right or wrong answer, guys. Just so you know, this is not a graded assignment. So please feel free to take risks and make mistakes. This is not graded. There is no right answer.
All right.
Do more than just live now. You can ready to exist. Yes, sir. Shanda Mahaya. Come on, children.
One more time.
Hold that.
Do more than just live now. You can ready to exist. Yes, sir. Shanda Mahaya. Come on, children.
I'm not saying a word until y'all vote. Yay or nay?
Good use. Good use. of
Good
the cloth.
use. Bad use.
I
of the
didn't
cloth.
see people put cloth on rope.
I don't stray. We stay on this particular example, and from here we'll branch out to other examples. Was this a yay or a nay, man of God? In your opinion, in your humble but highly esteemed opinion, was this a yay or a nay?
To the cloth?
Yeah.
Let me see it again.
One more time. One more time, Delton.
I'll put it so you
For the
see it.
Saints.
Let me see him. I put on.
Y'all are picking options that were not available.
Do more than
This
just
stays
live
funny.
now.
Funny.
You can ready to exist. Yes, sir. Shanda Mahaya. Come on, children. Do more than just live now. You can ready to exist. Yes, sir. Shanda.
Because girlfriend wearing black, so I can't. It's kind of far. I can't see good.
Could be something see-through.
It could have been something that, whereas like you could kind of see.
It wasn't see-through.
You can't say that from here.
It could have been a
Wasn't see-through.
it could have been a pronounced line. Right.
Could have been no panty line, and it could have been 2 bowls of jello.
Right, it could have been,
as my mother would say.
Tuscalongs out there.
It
I'll let
wasn't
Tuscalongs out. 2 bowls of jello, that's my
It wasn't really given Tuscalons,
But
though.
you can't see from your angle.
You looking on
Nah,
top?
there's certain things you can establish from the side view.
No. I don't
things.
know.
There are
I
some
don't
things
know.
you can't, certain things you can.
V, I be with you, but I saw. Because mother wearing a little tight little A-line,
Okay.
and I don't know how tight is tight from that angle there.
Okay.
And then the brethren them don't need much to help the brethren. The brethren shallow. The man them in the church them, they shallow. I mean, the man who like women in the church, they shallow.
That's right.
And it don't take much, So and then mother comes speeding in the back. She said, "I know who in church today."
What about the
Denisha say, don't do that. Let me shout in peace. Where you going with this clause? Chris say, funny use. Denisha say, you know what? I'm a no. Marisha say, she's in between. Marisha, I'm gonna need you to tell me why you betwixt. What 2 opinions are you halting between? Let us know.
Don't limp.
Jody say she like it. Chris say it's a no. Denisha say, mother come running like chill
She's
out.
on Simon. She comes speed.
rolling.
Xavier's with the man of God. Maybe her skirt was lifting when she danced.
No, I left.
And the men were looking.
I didn't have to do Tuscalongs. It ain't no the length.
Yeah, I think
For those who are new to the vernacular,
Tuscalongs. That's code. You don't let that out.
either overshaking.
Yeah, it could have been a lot of movement. And if you have a lot of this going on, you can't focus no more. You know what I mean? That
Up and down.
up and down. That ain't.
Anyway, I can keep my
Not
comment.
fit for the hustle.
Mother was trying to avoid an accident altogether, so she was being preventative, rather than providing like a cure. Okay. Xavier said that Usher on point.
Oh, roll it. That's what roll it.
Okay, then roll it.
Mother was trying to avoid the disaster, so the saints generally could see why Mother did what she did.
I was in a church one time, V, and a meeting was called after church because a lady fell out and nobody was there to catch them. That was so, and I'm saying this to get to this, all these extras, all these, you need a degree now to work the altar, because there's so many altar working rules. And I come from a day at 45 years old that you were told the Holy Ghost doing this. So trust me, the Holy Ghost can organize how this thing can operate, and everybody's going to be okay. But now we're doing so much things because, you can't trust the Holy Ghost, right? Because the Holy Ghost, I told a story before. There was a time, I think this lady name was Michelle. We was in convention in Cooper's Terrace, tile on the ground, and I was playing my sax with a little band, little shout, little Holy Ghost break out. And Michelle head hit that tile so hard, you feel it. I stop, you feel it. Bang! Her head hit that ground so hard. And everybody going to panic, people going for ice and this and that. Mother Malcolm said, leave it, that's the Holy Ghost, she'll be all right.
And that makes sense to me.
Mother Malcolm said she'll be all right.
That makes sense to me.
Now I say, Mother Malcolm, you out of your mind. This girl dead. She dead. No, she dead. We need to call. Y'all call it, but y'all get for ice. Y'all need to call Curtis. This woman is out of here. And then before you know, she started shaking the ground and say, oh God, Lord, she having a conniption.
She having a whole
Listen,
fit.
this girl have, what thing, the concussion, we need concussion protocol. That girl get up, sit down, like, that was going on. 5 minutes later, got up. That's when, not that's when, I don't like talking about this, that's when everything was so right back in the day. But their principle was, this the Holy Ghost working.
But
How we
however,
get all these things now,
hold
man?
on. But now we have people who just mimic the Holy Ghost, who fall out, and you can't really trust that they fell out under the Holy Ghost, but they didn't want the man of God to feel away. They wanted to, in their emotionalism, they fell out. So actually, you catching for the ones who ain't under the Holy Ghost.
No, but if
catch
you do that
everybody.
off your dumbness and you fall, then die on me.
Right, but you could get up and blame me though.
How?
Oh, I've seen it done.
I ain't throw you down.
There was a church in the UK, a woman sued them because she fell out and she hit her head and she had to go off in an ambulance. In an ambulance.
How'd you
And
get
then
that?
the church
The church
had to
called
go
ambulance?
into intensive training for altar records. This was my issue with Mother and the cloth, and my issue with cloth in general. With Mother and this cloth, if you paused that at the right moment, you would see Mother who wrap her up. Your pencil skirt is just as long and just as tight.
You're going to be what of the Gabriel.
Huh?
You're going to be what of the Gabriel.
If you pause at the right place, you'll be like, but mother, your pencil skirt is just as long and just as tight.
Oh, didn't see that.
Because I wanted to understand. This is something I have a specific
You
problem
know, it'd
with.
be funny if somebody come by here with another cloth.
I come about
I would have stood up and applauded them.
somebody come about afterwards. Hey, whoa, brother.
And then I feel like, and also, this, I don't know, I feel like when somebody is shouting like that, stand behind them and hold it. Don't try and wrap her up. Come on, man. Let the woman be free.
That was an old school thing that
She
we don't do
wrap
no
her
more.
up.
You remember the good old church? You remember that?
The fence?
We form a fence around you. You know about them?
Wall
You're
me
still
in.
back home?
Yeah. Wall me in with the cloth.
You see one mother coming like this.
A
Then
10.
you know, come, let's go.
Here we
Let's
go.
go.
In our old church, be a 10. You get one on the top, one on the side. That was the situation.
And it can't be no 4. We need at least 6, 7. Because this part of the shop, you want to give them
Yeah.
freedom.
Right, warm me
Boy,
up.
I said in a long time.
Good perimeter.
Yeah,
It's not a
warm-
good perimeter run.
Warm me up. Just cover me in the back. But I'm shouting
Oh,
and you wrap
man.
me up. I feel like your focus is not on the right thing. Like you're not thinking about the fact that this moment is really just about me getting free. You don't like, what is this moment about? And you wrapping me up with a cloth?
I'm gonna say, if
Sis.
you don't get free, you get free at the back.
Sis.
You don't come in the front. Run to the front, I
Just
can cover you up.
stand, just stand.
I don't say
Just
you run.
stand.
If you run to the front to shout, I cover you up. You should shout in the back.
Yeah, and I feel like it's the dismissal
You go and
of
shout in the back. You shout in
we
the front.
don't. I feel like sometimes this cloth usage, it doesn't have any judgment attached at all.
No.
There's just like there's like an
Someone,
autopilot
someone
reaction.
fall, someone move, get caught.
It's just an autopilot. This woman is wearing a whole what's it called? A whole parachute. She fell out and you'll cover her with tree cloth. How sway?
No, I've definitely seen that.
How sway? An uncle in his skinny jeans. It takes you a good 5 minutes before you realize, ooh, we probably should cover his crotch a little bit.
But we started putting cloth on mine too.
We
When
started
that
now.
happened?
We have to though.
Because the man them, their pants
Man
too
them
tight.
pants, yeah.
Now, mind you, his pants were tight when he was standing up, but it's
Yeah, I'm
fine.
saying. So, I mean,
It's okay. Because typically, the men's tight clothes, they don't tight clothes. They don't actually move when they fall. They just stay exactly where they were. That's how tight they were. So actually, he looks on the ground just like he did standing up. He doesn't need a cloth. That women's clothes couldn't move.
I think about
But
that
I
for a
just feel
minute,
like the lack of judgment that's attached to cloth using and some altar work, it feels like, guys, let's just take a minute. Is it necessary?
You know, we do it because people are carnal, but then if in that moment when people are spiritual, you becoming a major distraction.
And you say we do it because
Major.
people are carnal. I think the people who are carnal are people who are doing it.
That's-
Oh, okay. No, I thought you meant like we cover people because the audience are carnal.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. This whole operation's become carnal. The whole operation's become carnalized.
Gee.
So
I say the cloth has become more of a problem than a help. It's become more of a distraction than
to me,
an
the
assistance.
tissue do. The tissue is just a thing for me.
oh, we had to make an announcement in life.
If you
I
know
started
how many
shutting the tissue down.
times I've been snotting.
Remember back,
and didn't
that,
get
that
a
was back.
drop.
That was back in one's class. We did it. It was
Thank
getting too
God,
bad.
thank God for my faithful praise team members who ain't on mic and see the snot dripping down and decide to bring me tissue.
No, I don't like tissue ministry because tissue ministry it's
No,
become
not
very
tissue
distraction.
ministry, but you can see my nostril is.
You
in
need
my
to plan.
neck.
You know your
My
science problem.
eye-
Why if your science you need to bring your tissue when you come to church.
But that one little piece wasn't enough. I need.
You need to plan for your operation. I don't.
Look down on the ground. Y'all can't see there's a puddle there. Somebody, everybody.
I call a meeting one time in life. I say shut this tissue ministry down.
No, but
Because
your-
box just passed.
No, your thing was about when you're praying.
And then we
for
used to buy like
people.
14 boxes of tissue. Because I mean, where this box come from, Lord? Shut this down. No more tissue. You go to use in primary school and get the bottom of your jumper.
I needed to get that off my
Squeeze
chest.
what the bottom.
Yeah, but back use the bottom.
I needed to get that off my chest. Things that we do in church that really, if we think about them, they really don't make sense.
Things that we say in church too.
Now, you said you had one. Free yourself. This is the time and this is
No,
the place.
I remember this time this guy was saying, touch your neighbor and tell him, oh God. I say what?
The segues are lining up perfectly.
This touching neighbor,
Perfect.
wait, this touching neighbor thing is
You can tell us to touch our neighbor
so.
tomorrow, though.
Sorry.
You're going to tell us to touch our neighbor.
I will with purpose. I'm very intentional.
Every time.
Every single time.
Every
Single time. As I do with write this or say this online. Very intentional to create engagement, to read declarations. And I challenge anybody to, and this is not the offensive dancer, but it is, collate the touch your neighbors, put them down, write them down, and tell me you don't have 7, 8 declarations.
I got ask you a question on your preacher.
agree.
Did you bring up you?
Okay.
Do you believe that if somebody from your church says I was there, that people who don't believe you will believe you?
Say that again. Take that from
Like
the top.
he's asked anybody who's there who saw it, like y'all confirm this for me. So you believe that someone in the audience don't believe you as the preacher. They believe me as your brother. Say, yeah, I was there.
I think
I
so.
believe
think so.
having a regular average Joe corroborate what the pastor
think so.
says is
For a
beneficial
visitor?
for the average Joe.
If I
think so.
if I believe the pastor,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
There's a common
I
feeling
could-
that pastors make stories up.
Yeah, y'all, that's what they do.
I didn't remember his corporate story.
No, man.
No, I don't think so. like that's a regular thing for
I think there's a potential to strengthen your argument if you do it. It might not, but it's not going to take away from it. It's not going to make him less believable, but it can make him more
yeah,
believable.
like I watched Jesse this week. Jesse telling a story. Isn't that right? And his wife said, "You know I was right." Like, Jesse
My
was-
thing is
Jesse
that
was
when he
blind.
says-
yeah, she didn't answer. So he said, "Don't leave me out here." He was preaching at Belleville this week, and he told him a story. What's Jesse Brown's wife's name? Oh God, what's her name?
Kathy.
Kathy. Yeah, Kathy was doing, and then Kathy went to Bill with his son to like say, boy, she's lying to you. This really happened. I was like, Kathy, go with Jesse, please. Nobody's need that corroboration, man, because people think you're lying.
Marisha
Especially when you're telling things that are not commonplace in your typical churches.
Marisha says, I remember the perimeter bay. Wow. But we don't have enough church mothers for the perimeter no more. Where are the church mothers, Lord? Where are they? Where are the church mothers? Dwayne says he remembers the
I don't really remember that. He was there.
What? Oh, God.
No, you mean, touch it, tell him.
Now that's like the Film Me Daddy.
Yeah.
We had a video. Do you want to play it?
Nah.
So things that we do in church that don't make sense. And this is actually going to segue very nicely into the video that Delton. You still going to play it?
Yeah, I can play that.
There's this group of let me finish
Go
because
ahead.
you interrupt me.
I want to ask you a
Derail.
question when I have a question for you.
There's this group of like youth pastors on Instagram. They have like a podcast where they talk about funny things that happen that they encounter, and they had one recording of another youth pastor who in prayer told everybody to repeat, "Daddy, feel me, Daddy, feel me." But the way he communicated that, his tone of voice,
You should see that.
his tone of voice,
Stop
and he didn't pick up on his tone of voice. He just kind of kept going. And it was one of those moments like, you really shouldn't.
Just let this one go.
Just like, you
I
shouldn't.
did not.
This is one of those things that's become entirely like, you say it. If that's what you want, you say it for yourself. But to make everybody repeat you, and then he was like, "Oh, don't be scared. Come on, say,
Come on, say
say Daddy, feel me." Delton, you should play it.
Like, Daddy, please feel me.
That being said, what's your question, Bishop?
No, I was going to ask you.
Me personally, or
Yeah,
DGMT is
we-
in all over,
It
all around
could
the
be an all.
world.
We did something in our church, and I think people still struggle with it. I have a policy in Life with Center from Jump Street that I don't do lines during prayer time outside. People just hold the door. Be praying.
Oh.
Let people get outside. And I am vehemently opposed to that. I believe if prayer is going on inside the church, let the people inside. Because you never know what's going to break out here. How you feel about that? No, I don't know if you caught when you came to life after we were doing that.
Absolutely do not see the reason why people cannot walk in when there's prayer going on.
Yeah.
Because is it that we're going to scare Jesus away? Is
No,
it
I
that we're
think
going
it was distraction. Well, sometimes I
distract
think
who?
a
The other
thought-
people who are praying?
Like for me, I look at like the old church we come from, and people there will come healing, man.
No, let them
Now, I
inside.
think
Now
if
you may not
that's- if
see
you
them.
got that kind of problem.
May not see them, right? If you
Yeah.
don't, I don't say. I'm saying
Oh, so that's
seat
stand
them.
by the-
Let them
stand by
get
the door?
inside. The people outside in the foyer, outside. You wait to be praying. No,
I think that people inside regardless.
I say let them inside.
My thing is,
Don't
I
see them
think-
because they may cause
I
them
think it's
distraction.
because of what I understand prayer to be. It's not. I understand, like, you know, in a church setting, it's a solemn. We make it quite solemn, and so you don't want too much movement and distraction. But I feel like we're talking to Jesus. The people they come in and talk to him too. Come, everybody. Come.
That's my point.
And
I would
mean,
like to hear what your
I grew up
listeners
I grew
feel.
up in a house where you're praying when you're driving, you're praying when you're cooking, you're praying when you're sitting in the living room, you're praying when you're quiet. So this idea that prayer has to be everybody stop moving, that's very that's strange to me. Yeah.
Do you say you think it's a matter of disrupting and squeezing people in to be seated, or the distraction?
Yeah, I think.
So you think it's let them in, let them stand in the back?
I feel like I can smile at my
Why not
neighbor when they walk
outside?
past me while the pastor's
While I'm praying.
preaching.
Or while
While the
preaching?
pastor's praying, sorry. Like while the intercession's going on, I feel like I could be like, you know, I feel like that can happen. But I understand how in some traditional church settings that's considered being distracted from prayer.
Yeah,
You can't. I just feel like, when you have prayer is this like separation.
See, I guess
You can't smile at your neighbor. You can't tell somebody hi and then go back into prayer. You know how when you talk about people who say this man cracks a joke and the spirit is gone.
Yeah.
That's the mentality I
Yeah.
have. It's like, I don't think the presence leaves. I don't think the prayer ends. I don't think it's actually disturbed if somebody squeezes past me. It's like,
Chris says,
and then we all join in prayer.
if we can leave while the pastor's praying, why we got enter?
that's powerful. That is
Chris
powerful.
said, we can leave while he praying. Why we got enter?
Because no one stands at the door to stop you from going out.
because
Come on, Chris, talk about it.
preachers love leaving during prayer.
Oh,
Talk about it.
They love it. And then he'll do, hey, Bishop, bless you, gotta go. The wife home. Bro, I try to pray to
The wife
hey,
home.
hey, go to wife home. I gotta go. So
I was gonna go left because I wanted to ask you about how you feel about preachers who come in just before they have to preach into service and leave. Like the pastor comes in just before the sermon, like misses all the stuff that goes before. Like
You mean a guest, or you mean
reading.
like a
No,
lead pastor?
The pastor of the church comes in just before he or she has to preach. Misses praise and worship, prayer.
I
anything
think
that
that goes in
before.
several directions for that. Because I am one, honestly, depending on where I'm going, and I'm gonna say this, depending on where I'm going, I will come right before I preach. Let me give Denzel's reasoning. Denzel is a musician. Denzel is a singer. Denzel spent a lot of time in that world. For me personally, sometimes,
Cross my spirit.
yeah, I sometimes I'm like, I
Cross
don't
my
want to be
spirit.
here. I can't not hear certain things, and so if I ain't there, I try to get my mind right, and I like, what, let me just stay out, so I can come in, and not be distracted.
Not see too much.
Yeah,
not
and they ain't like
absorb too much.
this ain't like the spirit can leave me, nothing like that. It's just like, what, I just don't have to.
Don't want people to feel like, don't want people to feel like you preaching on them because you sat in their church a little while and you
There
seen
have
how they
been
carrying
times
on.
I have gotten in churches and I missed the entire praise and worship, missed everything like that, and then when I preach, find out that I cannot address all the things that happened in church before I came. And if I had come prior, I'd have to adjust everything I was going to say because then
Right.
look like an attacking person.
Yeah.
So because of how I know I minister, that's why I'm intentional. Let me say this, when I speak a lot of places, I'm intentionally. Now, if I'm told it's going to offend the church, usually I tell the person I'm coming at this time. Now, if they say, Bishop, we want you here at this time we want you here, then I honor it. Because I never want to, I wouldn't want to offend the people I'm supposed to minister to. So if they say, Bishop, we want you to be here at this time, I'm going to be there at that time. But if it's open to me to say, well, when you tell me we put you on at 8:30, to me, you give me permission to come at 8:30, to come at 8:26, 8:21, So that's there from that standpoint. As a pastor, I love praise and worship. So I just really wish I had an office at the church I pastor.
So you could hear it and not be outside.
I wish I had an office, but I don't. But it's coming soon. Yeah. Amen. Hey, glory to God. Yeah. So that's the reasoning.
Okay.
For me, I don't know what so I don't want to speak to other pastors. I know what their reasoning is as to why they don't do it. I've come to some churches early and then just want to fall asleep. Like it'd be like, oh my God, it's like you're draining me. It's like this is torture.
But then you also have some churches, like I've paid a pastor, especially with you, like they didn't give you a time. You could tell like the church is just like they really stalling because you in there. Because they had none else black.
Yeah, and then you gotta tell me that.
More often than not.
I have a lot of churches like,
More often
you
than
in there
not.
yet? All right, so we can call up, let's call sister to do a little time of devotion. Testimony service. Like what? Testimony service. Like there's no plan.
Oh, but you gotta tell
One
me
thing
that.
about my
You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. We
Are you trying to
asked.
say no armor bearer, nobody's messaging you to say, man.
Oh
God,
no, when
we're
they
ready
messaged
for
me
you.
at this point, I said, "Boy, you're just kind of late because I just man." No, I don't. The singing be like bad sound system, bad keyboard playing, bad singing. It's hard for my flesh to dismiss that. Now, if I have to, I will, but I'm not going to volunteer for that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna volunteer to sit down and they're like, oh my
I
God.
feel like I need to be slightly more empathetic to the pastors, the preachers, and the pastors. Damn them.
Yeah.
Because I feel like y'all want us to engage in the entire service, and y'all don't. I don't think it's a good example.
No, I don't. Now, this one thing.
I'm speaking more to pastors of their own church.
If I'm
I'm
in
not
the
speaking
church
about guest pastors. I'm speaking more about pastors of the church itself.
and not engaging in worship,
In your own
not coming
churches.
in or being in and not
I mean, if
engaging.
you're not in, you can't be engaged. So both.
I thought you mean the ones who sit there
No,
and don't
both.
engage.
No, the ones that sit and don't engage, that's a worse offense.
That to
That's
me,
a higher
that is
level offense.
that is-
However,
that
if
you're
you're not
guilty of
there, you
treason.
can't engage.
treason.
So
Treasonous.
it's pretty bad. But then if
Yeah.
you then come and don't engage,
Yeah.
but that's so normal though. That's kind of expected. When
Because
you
you tell
see
me
pastors who
if you
engage
don't
in
come,
worship,
if you don't want to come in your church, it means
they're the exception.
you don't like your church, bro. I love my church. I love being with my church people. Why? Obviously, you don't like your service. So why are you inviting guests? Because I'm excited to go into my church service. I'm excited to be around the people.
Sometimes they'll do excited.
Huh?
Sometimes they'll do excited.
You sure?
Just be walking around.
Yeah, be walking around. I'm like, we having a
We have
whale of a
things-
time. I
things
love.
going on.
Come in. Be done was on the
That's
19th song.
That's it. I'm real time.
Come in.
Walk around
That was
talking.
on the 19th song. Ready to wrap up. He won't go to the back. What's in the back for you, sir? What's in the back for you, sir? There's nothing you need there.
Hey,
And
as you walk up.
then he goes to the back talking to Delton. Maybe he's speaking about some kind of sound issue he's having.
Okay.
Shoulders up and down. So he's just a key there. So he's just laughing. His shirt just got left.
I'm sorry.
His shirt just got left.
I'm sorry.
All right, so
I feel exposed.
So I'll play this video as we get it in. This is our topic for the day. You can put the headphones on so you get Rev, because Rev will preach the sermon. And so this gonna lead us to our end.
Jesus said, "Man cannot live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." You're listening to Daily Truth.
There are a lot of people who talk about God in very affectionate ways that I think are borderline blasphemous. Like, Jesus is my boyfriend worship music. They talk about Daddy God and my lover Jesus in ways that are really blasphemous. They're gross. It is not biblical. It's weird. It's really weird. And the reason that this goes on is because the church is effeminate. Because men don't go to church. And chicken or the egg. Don't want to just beat up the men. Men don't go to church because church isn't for men. Every church has almost explicitly said at this point, hey, if you're a man, we're not here for you. We exist for women and children. And if you are going to come to church, we're going to treat you like Homer Simpson. We're going to treat you like you're dumb, you're stupid. Right? We can't preach for an hour. And we can't use theological terms. God forbid a man has to use Google on the way out the door. So you didn't define that term, Pastor. Great, look it up. Nobody talks, seriously, no 21-year-old goes to their professor in university after class and says, I don't appreciate you using a difficult language. The professor would say, well, buckle up, buttercup. Get your big boy pants on. Let's be an adult. But we have made church for the weak. For women, for children. There's activities. There's coloring. There's snacks. There's food. It's a 25-minute long sermon. No theological terms being used. And men would rather go hunting. Shocker. Because they're men. That's why.
So, Rev.
Can I just read this comment from the last topic we
Oh,
were
sorry, go
on,
ahead.
just so we don't get it lost? Marisha says, I remember a pastor who said if he starts skipping worship, we should tell him. Because he said he didn't ever want to become one of those pastors. Comment from Marisha.
From All right, so our question is,
Does the Rev have a point?
is church too feminine?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, sure. Not yet. He's 1,000,000% right, but I mean, now,
1,000,000% right he
yeah,
was?
Yeah, but where do you direct that? How do you direct that? Because let's go here. When I go to the prison to preach to the inmates, I have to remember that guards are there. And so I have to say something to the guards.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I'm surrounded by inmates. And so I am drawn to speak to those that I'm surrounded by.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
When I go to a church and I am surrounded by women and I speak to the women and my illustrations and my anecdotes are all connected to women, I have to now work to remember that they are men there and find the men in the room to speak to them. So I think that's one of the factors that has led to this feminized presentation of the gospel, because the gospel that we're preaching is, in a lot of our churches, is the 85% women in front of you. And so obviously you're going to speak to them. When you go to school to preach, you got to remember that there are teachers there as well to tie them in, but you are surrounded by children. So as a speaker, your focus is going to be to the children. So for me,
which came first though? Is it that we are feminized so the men left, or did the men leave, now we've become feminized?
What came first is the devil knew that when men are in place, they're going to be a problem. So it was a diabolic plan from Jump Street. Let's get rid of these men.
But
And
now
so-
we're blaming the pastors.
Right, which is totally, to me, is totally unfair. There's a diabolical plan to get rid of the men. There was, the church was led by men. It was all about men. When I say the church led by men, I don't mean they were the pastors, but the congregation.
Yeah.
Men. And it's crazy, that back when church was so men heavy, women stayed home. Women are working now. Shouldn't that mean that men should be able to come to church? You know what I'm saying? Because back then, men were carrying the burden of providing for the house, whatever the case was. So you could understand if they missed church back then.
Right.
They died working. But now there's the female working and the man working in the home. I know, of course, the cases we have so many men that are not in the home, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like we could go and try to find different scenarios and different whatever word I'm looking for as to why we're seeing we have it with the men. But it's a diabolical plan to get the men out of the church. So for me, as Pastor Denzel, I have when I plan my illustrations and stories, I actually have to plan them now with men in mind. I have to be intentional, like to think men, because I may not see. I preach to the room. Be honest. I mean, the preacher in me, not releasing the word from the Lord. The preacher in me now. The two components: the prophet and then the preacher. The preacher speaks to who's in front of him. So I have to literally plan in my notes to give male-based stories. Because if I just go as I'm not the comedian who comes with jokes. I'm the comedian who jokes on people.
Right.
That's I don't have no jokes. I can make fun of you. So so when I come to preach, I preach to who's in front of me. I now literally, and this is a true story, I literally plan my little stories and stuff, my illustrations, my jokes with men in mind. Because if I look for men in the room to pull me, I can be in trouble.
Yeah. So is it not another question? Is it then that's a charismatic problem? Is it the charismatic churches that has this lack of men,
That's a
or
really good
is it
question.
there? Is it there also in the traditional churches? Is you find Anglicans, Catholics? I think most of them men still around. Is it?
I don't. I think
That
that's
died down,
that's
sir?
across. So the churches that have men are people like Pastor Gino Jenkins,
Oh yeah.
Gino Jennings.
Oh yeah.
Churches like those who are preaching, and it's amazing how there's such an attack on Gino Jennings, and I don't agree with some of the things, some of his interpretations of scripture, I don't agree with. But he is using scripture.
Challenge him.
Not me. But a part of me is, I love that he exists because he got a church full of men.
Yeah.
And he's preaching that message that I heard growing up. That is, woman shouldn't be preaching. I heard that growing up. That, man, this, man, that, what man's supposed to be doing. And the men are being drawn to that. Mm-hmm. Now, that is not my revelation, so I'm not going to change. I had a meeting with the pastor, I won't call his name, and I was talking about Gino Jennings with him. I said, listen, a lot of preachers are out there bashing Gino Jennings. We need to listen to what he's saying. And now, based on the revelation that we have, we need to figure out what can we learn from this man. This man has a church full of men. And I believe Gino Jennings loved the Lord. I believe he's a man of God. I believe his view is I don't agree with all of his theological positions,
Right.
all of his justifications. I'm not totally in agreement with, but I thank God he exists. I really, really do. Because at least like, Lord, thank God men going to trade somewhere.
So based on what he said, right, I think one of my qualms with this argument about the gospel becoming or the feminizing of church, and he alluded to it. Actually, he didn't allude to it. He actually said it. If you were listening to what he said, the implication that it's almost like a dumbed down gospel, if it's more feminine, if it appeals more to women, it's a dumbed down version of the gospel. And I think that was my primary issue, because he said things like, the preacher doesn't use theological terms. They only preach a 25-minute sermon, as if that appeases women, as if that's what makes it more appealing to women. I actually think
I would have never heard that from this.
And I think
I need to hear
a preacher who speaks, a preacher who can preach for a very, very long time, is probably going to be entertained more by women. Do you understand what I mean? He almost, because like he doesn't use theological terms. I was like, so is it that more intellectual preaching is what men need because men are more intellectual than women? Like, that's what I disagreed with.
What I thought he was alluding to, was like, I remember when Jeff Dose brought that song, Delton and Jeff Dose brought that song, when heaven meets earth like a what?
Sloppy wet kiss.
What? Sloppy. I said, don't y'all say that in my church, Jeff. I don't want, no, Jeff and Delton to that song. I said, no, I don't want heaven to meet earth
like a sloppy
wet kiss. This is inappropriate.
I know that part of what he was saying.
That's where my mind went.
That was only half of what he said. The other half was that sermons are less theological. Sermons are shorter. We have coloring books for the children and 25-minute sermons. I was like, how have you equated feminized church to shorter sermons and less theology? Because women can't handle theology. Maybe that is that's what I heard. The whole sloppy wet kiss thing, agreed. But I think what men don't understand is we don't want to hear that either. Like, we don't like it either. Like, we're not massive. I'm not massively comfortable with dance with me, oh lover of my soul. But I've been in a church where men can sing it and feel comfortable and women can sing it. Okay, I'll go with y'all. But I'm like, sloppy wet kiss. I don't like it either. Like, no.
I don't know if his thing is that not that that is done for women, but I guess maybe like it's just unattractive to men.
What, less theology?
No, I don't. No, I mean like a lot of
that affectionate.
Yeah, stuff. All that stuff like that. That I really don't think he was talking about. I don't think I can't say where he was.
No.
My take back was not so much it's being done for women, but listen, this is not working for men. I mean, like the most common thing we do is slap your neighbor.
Women don't love it either. I don't understand why everyone feels like we like it.
But y'all go with the flow. Y'all don't say nothing. Y'all still come back. The brothers have stopped coming. Like, I can't deal with this.
You like slap your neighbor?
But why do we come back? We don't come back because you said slap your neighbor. We don't. Because, I said this to Delton last week, we have this, this talk about men in the church, men in the faith, period. Do you understand? Like, we've got more women in the faith than men in the faith. So we're jumping ahead. We probably need to go back to why do we have less saved men? If we had to, calculate all the saved men in the nation and all the saved women in the nation, people who would profess to be saved, the level of their saved, whether they saved, or saved, we don't know. But you have less men who are saved, I think, based on my observations. I feel like we've skipped ahead a bit. Like,
I have to run out because I have an appointment at 4:20. I invited Sir Franklin Wilson to the Highway Church of God convention back under Bishop Murphy. I think it's my last convention. And had him to speak on investments or whatever the case is. And he made a statement. He says, I hear so much the attack on our men. And I agree. We see the absence of men. He says, but the little boy that's breaking in the home, the man that is pulling you up gunpoint and taking your car, the person that is robbing the jewelry store, he says 9.5 times out of 10, they're doing it for their girlfriend, they're doing it for their wife, or they're doing it for their mother. He said a lot of what we see happening that men are doing, it is for the women in their lives. He says, I'm about to be vilified and I'm about to be destroyed by this statement. He says, women, at some point, you'll have to realize that y'all are part of this problem. because y'all have enough influence to make them do what they're doing. And there was silence, and I was about to clap, and I was like, "No, boy, God,
Clap.
move."
You best
Because
I don't disagree
I
with
heard,
that, though.
I heard Suck Teeth. He says,
I don't disagree at
at
all.
some point, women must realize we could bash men or realize we are the voices in these men's life. These men who are doing most of the things that they're doing is connected to a woman. Ask Adam. Is
know what you would say.
connected to a woman.
It's the woman you give me.
So then,
It's the woman you give me.
so then, I mean, and listen, I was quoting from the great, Sir Franklin, when he came to the Grove Tar Convention. And that's the conversation that we men can't lead, and I think that was the problem when he said it,
Yeah.
that we can't lead it.
We can't let that.
But I do think that's a conversation that needs to be had. That he says men lose their attachment to men, but they never lose it to women. They start off attached to women and never stop.
No.
And so somewhere along the line, a woman who's receiving that gold chain, when you know Cindy man ain't got no job, a mother that is watching that television, a girlfriend that watch him go out and come back, you know he ain't got no job, but he comes back and sweaty, and whatever the case is, and you still getting to church, or you still dating him, you leaving him home, coming to church, speaking in tongues, and you going back home to him?
Right.
And y'all gonna having a whale of a time?
Church is telling us to leave him, though.
At some point, which you're not, so at least try to bring him. You ain't leaving him, you just hiding him.
Yeah.
And then the question then I go to this question
Nowadays, we don't hide them because he on our WhatsApp.
now I get into my question
boy.
because my whole thing was I was not marrying unequally yoked, and now I'm now a whole lot more free to marry a lot of them.
What do you mean?
They're not unequal.
Right?
That's what I'm learning. That a lot who I thought was unequal, they just one like church and next one don't, but they're still equal.
Potential.
So and I'm glad I gotta leave now because I think at some point our women, y'all complaining, but y'all need to help to fix this. I'm blaming. That's not a blame.
Right. To
But
fix it.
to say that your
So
hands are
let's not try
clean,
and- let's not try and figure out where this started. Let's not try
Yeah.
and figure out which came first, the chicken or the egg.
y'all have the
What we're
influence.
gonna do it to fix it.
Y'all got the influence, and I ain't blaming y'all. But my God, man, stop playing like you can't do nothing. that bro, I must say that N word. That brother do anything for you.
Anything.
Well, not really for you, but for you. And so, work it in Jesus' name. Yeah, man. Work it in Jesus' name. Learn from that girl who's going to all the men in the city. She didn't say, run, come see man. She said, come see this man. And you boys say, all right.
Yep. I know who it is. Let's go.
What time? You gonna pick you up, or you gonna pick me up? Or how we do this?
I'm saying, all the men follow us.
and all the men following up. Women, stop this man. Y'all do something.
Jody Ann says, use all the gifts in your arsenal.
All.
Man of God.
No, for true, because we use it for everything else.
Fair enough.
Anything else you want?
Anything else you want, you use it for. Why don't you use it for Jesus?
Sometimes the Jesus and those gifts, they don't go hand in hand. But I see what you're saying. I'm with you.
Jesus,
I'm with you.
because Jesus ain't priority.
I'm with you.
Jesus ain't priority. That's what it is. In Jesus' name, I go again.
Well, so we are at the point now. You see, the church is feminine, and the feminines can help.
Yeah.
So the feminines, we need the feminines to help.
I want the
the
record to
masculines.
reflect. I disagreed with a lot of what Rev said in that video. I just want to make that sure.
From what standpoint?
I disagreed with the whole, as I said, the idea that Rev doesn't use theology, so men prefer to go hunting because they're men.
Did he say that? Or
No,
did he,
watch it again,
I
watch
meant,
it again.
Did he say that in light of
No.
we treat men like morons, like they can't handle theological terms?
Right, but he said men will choose things that are more manly, hunting, because what we provide on offer is not manly, aka short sermons, coloring, no theology. That's what he said.
Coloring
He
is
used
charity, if you
right, but he put those in the same band, like almost like you offer to the women and the children a more pacified or watered down, because if you give the heavy masculine things like theology, we assume it will turn men away, but actually won't, because they're going to the things that are really masculine. Hunting, add it up. That's what I heard. And you played it twice, and I heard it both times. Now you could listen again And maybe I'll hear it differently, but that's what I heard.
That's
what I heard. I also disagreed with his thing about the whole the way we speak to God is blasphemous. It's weird, absolutely.
But not
and I think
blasphemous?
it's not blasphemous and it's not unbiblical to call Jesus a lover. Absolutely not. If you call him a lover in that way, but he's the lover of our souls, that's not blasphemous. To call him
Call him lover that
daddy
way.
is not blasphemous. He's father. And father is just a translation of a word from another language. So if somebody uses a slang or familiar term that means the same thing as father, to stand there and say it's blasphemous, I think that's incredibly irresponsible.
I've heard people say it.
Say you're uncomfortable with it. Say it's weird. Say maybe it's something we should do in our private worship and not public worship. But to say it's blasphemous, it's unbiblical, I'm like, uncle,
I've heard people
you're doing
say
too
it.
much. Say men don't like it, fine.
I agree with both of you.
I don't think it's blasphemous.
I
think
said,
that's
I've heard
too
people
far.
say it. Like I can hear someone say it, I hear someone else say it, and be like, okay.
Oh, but then
I agree with both of you.
But then I feel like you can't stand on the pulpit
And
with a
say it.
broad brush. And I think this is the first time I thought about this. I was like, this is not something I would come to hear on a Sunday morning. Because
his sermon?
this is not empowering me to live better as a Christian.
That's only 2
This
minutes.
is something,
You
hold
might
on.
fix it then.
He needs to go to a little pastor's conference and tell them this. Because all you're doing to your congregation is inciting them to say, yeah, I agree with that. Those churches, because clearly your church doesn't do that. You don't allow it. That's not edifying for the believer. That's
First of
something
all,
you would
I would
say
not
to
condemn
other
Rev
pastors.
from a 3-minute clip.
Me and Rev are vibing.
Because you know Rev. Where Rev was?
Me and Rev vibing.
He's at church?
I know.
Exactly. You know.
And that's why I said this is not something I would want to hear. I don't know
Yeah.
context.
So I don't.
But
I don't
do know that there are preachers who do this on a Sunday morning.
Definitely.
Come on. So I feel like I just want to put it out there. I want to put it
You,
out there.
you don't
that-
come from Brother Matt. I don't know his name.
So
I just assume Matt.
you assumed he was a Matt, and I'm the problem, not you. Fine. Okay.
I assume he's Brother Matt.
So yeah, I disagreed with his claim that it's blasphemous. I think you've got to be more
I think it's
sensitive when you
weird.
deal with the way people weird.
The
and
word weird
uncomfortable.
was definitely there.
Yeah,
Weird and
among
uncomfortable.
blasphemous and unbiblical. Don't delete the other
Yeah.
two.
No, I say I agree that it's weird.
Oh yeah, it is
Yeah.
weird. It is weird, and I can see how in public worship is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Agreed. I do agree that the church is feminine. There are certain feminine, and
If
that is
if
one
I
of
you have
the.
a problem with dance me, love of my soul is with. That's also fine.
And the first time I heard it, I was like, "What is going on in here?"
First time I heard it was actually E-Man.
First time I heard that.
E-Man did a rap to it. That's like,
First time I heard that at Life Worship Center, I was like, "We should do who with what?"
Oh,
And
no,
I'm a daddy
first
god
time you
girl.
heard it, yeah, was that
I'm
live?
a daddy god girl, so I like a little weird and intimate. But sorry, what?
You first time you heard it was with us?
Yes, sir. Never heard that before in my life. Sloppy Wet Kiss, I was never a fan.
Yeah, that's
So
all
when
it
I
is.
came and y'all had changed the lyrics, I was like, I could do that.
No, they changed it. It was it was the Cocky chose to change it first.
I could do it.
The unforeseen. The unforeseen.
No,
kiss.
but we don't say unforeseen either.
Okay.
We say unforeseen kiss. We say the word kiss.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's still a kiss though. It's still a
We
kiss.
hardly ever say
We just say sloppy and wet. We take the sloppy and wet. That sloppy and wet part out. It's like, okay, this is unnecessary. So we changed to unforeseen. I guess you didn't see it coming. Regis said, I hate touch your neighbor too because those moments are usually awkward. However, alongside that, sometimes your neighbor will come back because someone spoke to them.
Oh, sorry. I yawned really obviously in the microphone. Nothing personal, guys. You guys are a hoot. I'm having a whale of a time.
So you know, I guess and Arsenal also said the bishop gone, but I wanted to ask about the language Ref used. Yeah, I think Joy Dub that. I mean, Joy Dub that is now speaking as a female who has used the powers of persuasion to influence. Say it could backfire.
Elaborate, Minister Marisha.
Tell me more.
Elaborate.
How does this backfire on you? Man?
Backfire in the sense that, backfire in this. I think I know what she means. That those same persuasive, influential tactics actually diminish your witness. Do you understand what I mean? They make you a less effective witness because you've had to compromise to get me to come with you. So really, what is this?
What you
place
doing
teaching
though?
you?
Hold on, wait till you use Arsenal. What exactly y'all doing?
Child, I don't know. I haven't had a man since 2012. I can't tell you nothing. I can't tell you nothing about nobody.
When you say, hold on
And
now,
he
what
was
exactly?
saved. I didn't need to do nothing.
What
to persuade him to
exactly are
go
y'all
down
doing?
the road.
Exactly, when you say use these options. What exactly are y'all doing now?
But I feel like things that aren't necessarily, the best reflection of God's nature and godly living.
That's what y'all take that to be it?
That's what I take it to mean.
My grab. This is powerful.
Because I think if you constantly are a godly example, I think eventually you will influence him to want to come and see about this thing you're doing, because that's essentially what witnessing is for everyone. The person who lives in the house with you, the person you see at work, that you are an ambassador. You are a representative of that kingdom. And
Ah.
when that kingdom shines,
What I
it's
thought he
attractive,
meant
and
is
people
like
want to come
the
and find
same
out
way,
about it.
like you could bat your eyes and giggle and laugh, and then ask for something.
Who
It's the
bats
same.
their eyes and giggles and laughs?
I
and
say
gets
like
stuff?
that's the same way that you can like use that same. I don't know what other arsenals they are talking about now, because now I'm very confused.
There's
now.
a lady who's batted her eyes and giggled and
What's called
got stuff from
bat
you.
her eyes. Oh, from me?
Yeah.
No, I'm a pretty freely.
This
giving
isn't the
guy.
movies, Delton. This is
I'm
real
a,
life.
I'm a pretty freely giving guy. I don't need to bat my eyes. If I like, I'll give something. Like, but I thought about in terms of like when you say Arsenal. So now I'm very confused as what exactly we're looking at now.
Oh, Marisha's saying backfire in the sense that I went with you to church. Now come go this place with me.
Oh, so I mean, hey, listen to me. All right,
And that place is usually a place where you're gonna have to compromise.
there's
Moya Strawn, a good
weeping
colleague of
nationality.
mine. Hi, Moya. She always shares DGMT. You know, I don't think Moya's commented more than once or twice before, but always shares the link. So thank you so much, Moya. I do think church can seem too feminine. Why is there so many women in church? Are their pastors making enough effort, or are they enjoying being worshipped by the women in the church?
Ooh.
Oh, call it out!
Moya came in
I gotta
guns?
bring the man of God back. Moya came with
Moya
big
came
guns.
in guns?
Moya,
Moya say-
that is a question. I do
Moya
think some
say-
Christians speak to God in a disrespectful manner. We need to be humble.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that was a big man upstairs, brethren. Like upstairs. Oh, where?
I don't want to go where he wants me to go, but he didn't want to go to church either. I got you, Marisha. I got you. Again, y'all who have these problems, I pray your strength.
You're not 2012. Unsullied in 2012.
And living peacefully. Because I go where I want to go and do what I want to do.
Where do you want to do it?
When I want to do it. And he or she who does not want to come along, that's absolutely fine.
That's fine.
There are no stakes.
I'm all good by myself. I make sure we get through all the comments. It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's time for us to go.
Yeah. It's been a strong 2 hours and 15
We got
minutes.
church, and I make sure I got through all these good comments so nobody feels
I feel
left
like I
out.
got all.
So
Joanne
yeah,
said
so-
Songs of Solomon's. Song or Songs of Solomon. He runs right out. But I guess he's talking about Jesus, or he's talking about his woman.
Oh, Solomon?
He's talking about his woman. The lady, her lover.
And the Lord. She found herself. That was one of the most weirdest things.
I can't listen to that album. I can't listen to
I
no
know
song on it.
I only heard that one song. I heard.
I can't.
I
I can't listen to any songs on
I
that
heard
album.
because Satin Sheet Slide.
Huh?
There's a song called Satin Sheet Slide. Something like that.
Satin Sheet Slide. You'll be playing with
That
Jesus.
was the next one. That was two songs off
Satin
that.
Sheet
Two songs off.
Slide.
They slide.
Do you know what we say about this use of the sibilance of the S? Oh, I tear that up in literature class. Satin Sheet Slide.
I remember that song. Was that one, and then
Ugh.
the lady who loved
A quick little English lesson for you guys.
Always had to learn.
Sibilance, the repetition of the S sound in consecutive words,
That's what it is.
can have sinister connotations or
But I
sexual
thought so.
connotations.
So the once it's S is it's not an alliteration anymore.
it's sibilance is a form of alliteration.
But it's
it's for S sounds, and it could be at the beginning, end, or middle of the word.
Nice to learn something new today. So what we take away from today's show,
Of all the things.
all the things we learned today, don't use S back
That
together.
comment that Moya made about women being pastors being worshipped by women in church, definitely something that men who pastor churches need to consider. It's such a human and like a byproduct of human behavior and the way we interact with one another.
Right.
In the same way that as a teacher you got to be careful that it doesn't go to your head that you've got the dependency of children, and that can kind of feed into some kind of, I don't know, like complex, a superiority complex.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely something that men of God, rarely women of God, because they rarely have men-heavy churches.
Yeah, the women
Rarely.
usually have men.
Men of God need to be mindful of. That was a really potent comment.
Potent comment.
That was strong and heavy. Strong and heavy on the day. So Saints, thank you for rocking with us. We touched quite a lot of things. I think this is one of the few shows that Delton and I came in with things to talk about and we talked about them.
I mean, I talked about all the
We
things.
talked about
All the things that we want to talk about. Usually we get to something and skip over something.
Yeah.
We got all today.
I think we touched all today.
And so it's been real.
It's been fun.
It's been real fun.
Thank you for
so
joining.
Join us again next week. Anyway, we come back next week? I don't think we're going to be here next week.
No.
Oh, we're not going to be here next week,
And that's
Saturday.
another reason I gotta do my hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I
Around
died.
around me for the people.
mad.
Around me for the people. Stay tuned for when Girl Talk's coming back. Oh, no, you'll be on late, baby. Brittany come, but she late. Oh, yeah, no, we done.
This is we basically in next week's show. That's how late you are.
I didn't know next week's show.
Oh,
So we
Lord
won't be here next week. We have
Lord
the
Jesus.
Lord's doing the do. We got to go be ministers. And so we won't be here next week. But the week afterwards, we come back. We can see,
Strong and heavy.
hopefully the saints are behaving. And there shouldn't be much things to talk, but hopefully we can get to the bottom of that story of the two murders.
Oh goodness gracious!
I'm going to do some investigation on my own. I'm going to call some
Speak
people
to
I
your
know.
people who know people.
Yeah, talk to my people who know people. See what they know. And see if we can get to a conclusion and talk to the nail salon. I'm going to pass by the barbershop.
And we also need an update on 509 by that time.
And 509.
We need to find out if Brene was able to get
To get her hair
edges
done.
redone.
So
Not the whole head,
yeah.
just the edges. We still in school term. You don't do a whole head.
Just the
in
front.
middle of
Just the
a
front.
school term.
Sketch the front.
Only, I'm in a situation because I did a holiday hair kind of. The timing was off.
So let's catch the front and we'll be all right. Let's catch the front and we come back in another 2-3 weeks. I'm getting this whole idea of having hair is weird. And I salute the females.
I was trying to
And the men who have
explain
hair.
certain things to Delton. His barber or his hairdresser.
No, the barber.
The barber
the
suggested
barber
he
was
get a
like-
bonnet, and he said
it's
that's
like,
where he draws the line. I
not
said
gonna happen, sir.
personally, it's just logical. I don't
He was
understand.
like-
Don't fight the tide.
he was
You want to
like,
have a
just
bunch
get-
of hair, but you don't want to do what it takes. You're not wearing the bonnet out on the streets.
That's the same thing they say I do. They're like, you do that at home? It's like, yeah. Same principle.
Doesn't want to do. I said, Delton, very soon you're gonna come in on the Saturday with your head wrap, saying I wasn't able to get my hair done.
And that's not going to happen. Not
Wrap just like
that.
so. Message me. WhatsApp Vera. Vera, how you tie your
I
scarf
tie hair
on your
up.
head?
It's not going to happen. Definitely not going to happen.
That's what the young boys do. The boys that pack, they have them
Yeah, no, no.
pashminas wrap around their
First of
head.
all, man, you know what I am? Young boys. that's not going to happen. Wearing nothing around my head. No.
Saint, you know how old I is.
You know-
My
you know how I
goodness.
am. Wrap around my head. Not going to happen. All right, Moya, I think we used to be like, nothing.
Thank you, Moya.
None
Appreciate
of us are
it.
here. Me
Appreciate
neither past
it.
episodes, yeah. It's fine.
My co-host
No,
is
no,
called
no, We did a
Delton.
horrible job. All right. So,
Please call his name. He really
No,
is
that's fine.
paid.
That's good,
Oh,
Moya.
goodness gracious.
y'all gonna join
Too
us?
late.
Join us
Too
at
late.
church tomorrow. We at 9:30. We celebrating Ladies Sunday. Speaking of feminine,
I was going to say ladies' night.
not Ladies Night, Ladies Day.
Ladies' Day.
Ladies Day. We get started at 9:30 at CH's Auditorium. Y'all come on down, come join us. It's gonna be a whale of a time. Prizes and surprises. It's also our Jubilee Sunday. Excuse me. We made an effort to make sure that we're celebrating Jubilee the entire year this year, as a country celebrates 50th year. So we are gonna what's the word? Hallow. We're gonna hallow the 50th year, and we're doing that this Sunday. So tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. We're gonna be having celebration time, celebrating Jubilee. So come join us at Life Worship Center, 9:30 a.m. CH's Auditorium, Minnie and Ethel Street. Y'all have a great day. Continue to listen to Glory 93.9 FM. Like y'all heard here, Girl Talk is on its way back. So stay tuned to our social media groups, Glory 93.9
Delton, I
FM.
want to put this in your spirit. We need to
What's
do that
that?
end of year show this year.
The big show?
Yeah, man.
The big
The
everybody?
big live show.
One live show?
Daddy, everybody.
We get
We need to
snacks
book the
and
men of God from now.
Yeah, we have to.
We're gonna put them
gotta
from
find their
now.
schedule.
Let's
So we can
let's
do-
make it happen.
We can bring back the guys. Try to bring back somebody from Bottom Talk.
Station management and admin. I'm putting it out there.
End of the year live show.
End of your live show.
Let's do it.
All hands on deck.
Everybody.
Church
fine.
Boy Productions. Everybody, let's go.
Might as well. Cheap us.
Cheap
If you
us.
can do it, then I'll do it.
Cheap
Y'all be
us.
safe, man. Have a great weekend. What's left of it. Go to church tomorrow with like-minded believers. I've been Delton,
I've been Vera.
and we be gone.
Complaints, no, you supply my every need, even if not in my time. Want this for sure. I got every reason to be grateful. 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 I got every reason to be
Grateful, he's been so good, so I'm grateful. 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 all your blessings in my life.